that jumped 0.3%. Year-over-year headline jumped 2.7%. Remember, though, that last month that was 2.6%. So month to month, a little bit of an edge up.
Fox Business Network Cheryl Casoni, that's something for the Federal Reserve to factor in next week when it again considers another interest rate cut after all the rate hikes helped bring inflation down from a 2022 peak. Luigi Mangione remains in jail in Pennsylvania, and he's fighting extradition to New York, where he's charged with murder in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. His lawyer, Thomas Dickey, says,
I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter. The concept of American justice is a presumption of innocence.
Police are going through Mangione's writings, ranting about healthcare and corporate greed, including this, Fox's Alexis McAdams reads.
Reminder, the U.S. has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy.
New Jersey mayors and the governor get a briefing today on the big drones flying over the state since mid-November. The FBI told a House hearing yesterday they don't know what they are, who's flying them. State Senator Douglas Steinhardt tells Fox they need answers.
The best information that we have available to us to this point suggests that these drones are coming from offshore, that when we try to make contact with them, they become evasive and elusive.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken will go to the Middle East today for more talks about Syria following an opposition rebel takeover. But first, Blinken faces tough questions about Afghanistan in 2021 at a House hearing, going back to when the Taliban took control amid a rushed American withdrawal that included a terror attack, killing 13 U.S. troops. A wildfire still burning out of control around Malibu, California, now has scorched about 4,000 acres. L.A. County Fire Chief Anthony Marone says
a small number of homes in the affected area have been destroyed and damaged.
More are threatened by the flames. Thousands of people told to be ready to evacuate. Thousands already have. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They're called snow squalls. It's cloudy and 29 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Short and heavy bursts of snow, and they're expected to hit Indiana later this afternoon.
Snow showers may be heavy at times, with visibility is drastically reduced.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service. Cold temps along with it. Lows expected to be in the single digits late tonight. A police chase ends with a crash. 4 people arrested and a SWAT officer hurt Tuesday.
IMPD says they first heard about shots being fired in a car that was stolen earlier in the day Tuesday, which led them to chasing the car, and that car eventually crashed into a pole at East 30th Street and Fall Creek Parkway North Drive. The car also hit a SWAT vehicle, which ended up on its side and gave the officer non-life-threatening injuries. 4 people in the car eventually got arrested, and a gun was also confiscated at the scene. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Another police chase happened later overnight. State police say they tried pulling over an SUV on the east side, but instead the driver took off and eventually crashed. They found guns and drugs in the car. One of the handguns had a conversion device to make it fully automatic. 2 people arrested. Indy's mental health crisis response team is expanding. It mainly has been operating downtown along with Indy's east side. Now the team says they're expanding their reach to the north. Andrea Brown is a leader with the team.
With every call we've answered, our goal is to help resolve the immediate crisis in a way that is respectful and safe.
Since January this year, they've taken over 900 calls. Things are off kilter right now for the Butler Bulldogs, who, despite erasing a 21-point first-half deficit, they could not pull off the win over North Dakota State Tuesday at Hinkle.
Unacceptable. We didn't have our pace. We didn't have the grit that we needed offensively to counter the mix.
Head coach Thad Matta, final score 71-68. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
All right, Kirk, coming out of the North Split, it is a crash at Meridian Penn, blocking the left lane, causing stop traffic into the North Split. We are slow back to Rural Street. Northbound 6570, pockets of stop traffic from the South Split up to the North Split. That is because of that crash on northbound. Looking at the South Side, ramp reopened. Westbound 465 to southbound 65. Traffic is getting through. We're looking good. Traffic sponsored by Pierce Jewelers in Carmel. Come see the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. Pierce Jewelers shops the world to bring you the best, and they have it all. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Get Your Sparkle On jewelry store.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
For today, mostly cloudy, scattered PM snow showers expected, high temperatures in the mid-30s, winds gusty. Tonight, mostly clear, wind chills dropping in the single digits. On Wish TV, Storm Track 8 meteorologist Ryan Morse for 93 WIBC.
A clear radar for now. It's 29 and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
Government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 11th. It is 6 minutes after 9. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Yesterday, the Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, he fell after a lunch meeting. He tripped, apparently. He sustained a minor cut to his face, also sprained his wrist. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of this. Wow. His hand is swollen. It's black and blue. He was wearing a brace on his wrist. He also has a bandage on his middle finger, bandage on his face. They cleared him to work for the rest of his schedule after he received some medical attention. But this is not the first time in the past year that he has had a medical incident while on the job.
Well, to quote the great philosopher Marshall Mathers, as he was once talking about techno guru Moby, you're too old. Let go. It's over. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, he's 82 years old.
And look, the age is just a number. I mean, there are people like Donald Trump who are nearing 80 who, look like they're 30. And there are people like Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden who look like they're 100. Come on, dude. You've been in there since the earth was young. You're 80 plus years old. You're freezing. You're falling. Go home. But this is the problem with our government. It is just infested with these old people. Again, there's nothing wrong with them. Old people do incredible things for humanity. It's not that they're old. It's that their time has passed them by. There's no original thought. There's no new ideas. There's no forward thinking. It's people who are there for business as usual, the status quo, and the status quo is their power structure above helping regular people.
It's, well, what is he? The longest tenured senator in history? I mean, he's been in Congress since 1985. He announced
1985, Casey. I was 2.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't even 2. He was elected before I turned 2 years old.
Yeah, this is true. He became the Senate leader in 2003.
I'm a 40-year-old grown-ass adult man with children of my own, and he's still there.
And he's still approving all of the spending. And I just, the thing that is frustrating about this is when you consider that it's Mitch McConnell who's pulling the strings on Todd Young. So this guy is affecting Hoosiers.
Whoa.
We did not elect him, yet he's affecting our lives.
You stop right there, lady.
Okay.
I am not going to allow you on this radio program to besmirch the good gosh darn name of Todd Young. Maybe they'll allow that on Tony Katz or Hammer and Nigel.
Yeah.
But what has
It's not gonna happen
What
here?
has Todd Young ever done to anybody? Oh,
Wait.
But you're right. Mitch McConnell is the adult supervision, or was. Who knows? Who knows if he's even supervising himself at this point? For so many of these little minions like Todd Young, who are the next generation of Mitch McConnell people, in which they're incapable of working real jobs, they're incapable of functioning in society, and their entire life and existence centers around being able to elevate them in the power structure of the Republican Party so that they can continue to lord over other people.
You said, who knows if he's even watching over himself? Well, his staff rushed into the luncheon area after he fell, and then a medical team was seen following him into his office. But, let's just do a little flashback to when he completely blanked out during the middle of a press conference.
What are my thoughts about what? Running for re-election in 2026. That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Denny.
And let's walk him off.
I mean, it's ridiculous that people. I mean, and again, he's an older person. You always want people to be of good health and of good mind and good spirit, but a person like that has no business making decisions for other people. He can't even make decisions for himself, it appears, a bunch of the time. He can't even take care of himself many times, and yet he's dictating public policy for 330 million people.
That's it exactly. Would you feel safe riding in a car with him? What if he were driving a bus, load of people? I mean, you wouldn't. You would be concerned for your safety, and yet he has the responsibility of guarding
funny, isn't it?
all of us.
Kev's laughing because it's funny. That should be a reality show in which a bunch of people have to get in an automobile with Mitch McConnell, and it's like that, there's a dash cam, and we film the people's reactions as Mitch McConnell attempts to maneuver through crowded urban areas.
That sounds like a video game. That sounds like Simpsons Hit and Run.
But this is the guy who is deciding how your money is spent, where it's going. It affects your life every single day, what he decides.
Yeah, and take his clear health issues out of the equation. There comes a time in any job where if you are incapable of making it better or more meaningful than it was, than it has been, then it's time for you to pursue something else. Like I've always said about this radio show, when I feel like the show has taken itself as far as it's going and go, and I've accomplished as much as I can accomplish, I will never just show up to work each day. When we hit that point, then I will move on to something else. I don't think we're quite there yet. But in the case of government, if you've been there 8 years, let's just take Todd Young as an example. Todd Young was in 2010. He was elected to the U.S. Congress. Okay, so that's 14 years, 8 of which have been a United States senator. What's he accomplished? What's his signature? The chips, printing a bunch of money to give to rich mega corporations. That's his signature accomplishment. Printing hundreds of billions of dollars as a giveaway to rich mega corporations is the signature accomplishment of Todd Young. You've been there 14 years. Dude, you are fresh out of ideas, bro. You are fresh out of ideas. You were fresh out of ideas a long time ago. Now, extrapolate that out to 39 years. Mitch McConnell hasn't had an original thought since the 1990s, since the Clinton administration, and he's still there. And not only is he still there, he's in a leadership position. He's telling the Republican Party how they're going to operate. Now, I do take that back. Mitch McConnell's decision to block Merrick Garland. So that was 2016. Is that right? 2015, whatever. So 9 years ago, he had an original thought. 9 years ago, Casey, he was 73. Yep. His last original thought came at 73 years of age.
He calls Donald Trump stupid and ill-tempered, a despicable human being, a narcissist. And, of course, Trump says that McConnell is a dour, sullen, and unsmiling political hack.
Doesn't politics just, the United States Congress, doesn't it just seem like a dreadful place to have to go to work each day?
Well, at this point, when you consider the Senate, there's so many, it just seems like it's a senior care facility.
It is, and again, there's nothing wrong with, age is a state of mind, right? Like, I mean, clearly Donald Trump was elected to the presidency at, 70 years old, and he brought a vigor and a vibrance to that, which was eclipsing 50-year-old people. It's the lack of new ideas. It's not that some guy's 82, it's some guy is 82 and he's been there basically my entire life.
Yeah.
He's been an institute. I mean, he's basically a prisoner. It's like guys like Charlie Manson.
He's holding us prison.
Well, but guys like my dad used to see this all the time because he dealt with very dangerous, violent people. And he said, you take somebody like Charlie Manson, they were more comfortable, and my dad had all sorts of offenders who were like this. They're more comfortable in the institution. They're more comfortable being institutionalized because they don't know how to function in the real world. These politicians like Mitch McConnell are basically that. They're institutionalists. They cannot function in the real world. They cannot function outside of the institution. They're not that much different from criminals. In some cases, these people basically are criminals. Look at how they write the laws so that they can behave in what is criminal behavior for other people, and they can do it and get away with it. They are institutionalists. They're incapable of functioning outside of the walls of the United States Congress.
He does not have good approval ratings at all. Democrats don't like him. That shouldn't surprise you. He only has a 21% approval rating. Independents don't like him. Only 35% offer positive assessments of him. And when it comes to Republicans...
But wait. But then how does... See, this is the problem. How do these people keep getting reelected?
How do they keep getting reelected? And that's the thing.
It's money.
Yeah.
It's money. It's money and it's threats, right? You run against me and you lose, you're done. And it's the money. It's the ability to bombard. This is exactly how Todd Young got elected. When Marlin Stutzman and Todd Young were running against each other in a U.S. Senate primary, Mitch McConnell and his goon squad swooped in with millions upon millions of dollars to run negative hit pieces. They didn't have anything good to say about Todd Young because there's nothing good to say about Todd Young. But they ran millions upon millions of dollars against Marlin Stutzman because they know the public at large is apathetic and gullible, and they'll buy whatever they see on TV. We are to blame for this. We are to blame for Mitch McConnell. We are to blame for Todd Young. We are to blame for the condition of this country. There's not a politician factory. There's not a politician farm where we plant little seeds and they grow out of the back of the nation's capital. We keep electing these people. Look at the overwhelming reelection rate to all of these idiots in Congress, the Jim Bairds of the world, the Larry Bouchons, the Greg Pences, over and over and over and over. It's the same people who do the same stuff. And you want to claim you're pissed off about it, but you never do anything about it.
Republicans only have a 46% approval rating of Mitch McConnell. And I was curious to see, what is his personal net worth? He's a public servant, right?
Yes.
He's been serving this country and the public your entire life.
That's right.
Right? In 2018, he had a net worth of about $34 million.
Casey.
I'm sure it's risen since
We have to
then.
pick another topic or I'm going to go ballistic.
Okay, Matt Gaetz came out with an announcement of what his future looks like, and you've also got Donald Trump trolling Trudeau. We're going to talk about that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Syria's longtime leader, his regime, over.
93 WIBC.
The toppling of Syrian president and dictator Bashar al-Assad.
Hear the news.
Snow is expected Wednesday.
Afternoon, early evening impact the evening rush hour.
Another news update is minutes away.
Civil case against former Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill has been dismissed. Both parties agreed to the dismissal. 5 losses in the last 6 games for the Pacers.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Around here, it's a little less about presents and a little more about presents. To celebrate, to share, and to give thanks. To be there. And right now, you can be there in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. You can be there for years to come because Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. May your season be full of presents. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Great holiday savings all month at Tom Roush Lincoln. And during the Lincoln Wish List sales event, select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 60 months. And all these great deals include the Lincoln Conquest Trade Assist. And don't you forget, all Lincolns come with complimentary pickup and delivery service. So get some of those holiday savings right now at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,845. Subject credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
I've been thinking about my Christmas wish list. Want to know what's at the top of the list? Never worrying about my family using all the hot water. Yes, endless hot water is what I'm hoping for this Christmas. Luckily, my friends at Hope Plumbing are offering an amazing special during the holiday season. $1,000 off a tankless water heater. Yes, you can give the gift of endless hot water and save $1,000 by calling Hope Plumbing today or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
We don't often talk about grief during the Christmas season, and yet Christmas can bring up memories that evoke pain and heartache because of the loss of a loved one. Hi, this is Pastor Micah Beckwith, and our Blue Christmas experience at Life Church is designed to give you a space to remember, to ponder, and to feel. If you're searching for healing this Christmas season, come to one of our Blue Christmas experiences and find a new freedom and joy during the holidays. Go to lcbluechristmas.com for times and locations.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Express the heartwarming message that says love is about being together. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be the symbol that says I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Think about this. He's had a really busy month. He was nominated to be the Attorney General for the United States. Then he resigned Congress. And then he withdrew his name from consideration to be part of Trump's cabinet. We're talking about Matt Gaetz. And now, Rob, another announcement has come.
Oh, how exciting.
He has joined the OAN network as what? A television host.
Oh.
Matt Gaetz is going to have a new show, part of their January 25 lineup. It's going to be the Matt Gaetz Show, debuting in January.
Look, if we do this to Democrats, we do it to Republicans. Isn't it funny how this all just worked out in his favor? Isn't it funny that he's facing this ethics report that's going to come out, and the only way for him to get it to not come out is to not be a member of Congress, and he finds it's worked splendidly for him. Lucky him, right? He should buy a lottery ticket or bet heavily on some sporting event because of all the people in the country, he was the most qualified person to lead the Department of Justice. Doesn't even make it, really, to any sort of forward press on his nomination. He goes and meets with a few senators, then goes, I don't want to be a distraction to Trump. Oh, yeah, and I've already quit Congress, so the report can't come out. And then, oh, cool, I get this cushy television job. Oh, and nobody will ever know what was in that report. It's amazing how that all worked out for him, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting because this is a smaller network. It's not widely distributed. It may not even air in parts of Florida where Matt Gaetz is from. And they were dropped by DirecTV in 22. So they've really kind of been struggling to gain some significant distribution. Are they putting all of their eggs in the Matt Gaetz basket, hoping that he's the guy who's going to be the catalyst for their network?
Well, I mean, look, this is to people. No, I'm not a television person, so this doesn't impact me. I chose years ago. I said I would rather dress the way I dress each day and be poor than have to go look professional and be on television. So I'm not a television person, but I'm sure if you're in the television orbit, you look at this, if you're some career television journey person and you're like, really, this rich trust fund kid gets to cut right to the front of the line and somehow evades any sense of accountability for what's in that report. Like the quitting Congress before quitting Congress and then trying to claim, well, I'd be missing votes to be on Capitol Hill. Marco Rubio didn't quit. These other people aren't quitting. You quit once you get the position. You're just nominated for the position. He clearly quit because he did not want that report to come out.
House ethics report.
And he just, lucky him, found out the perfect excuse to get out of it, which is, oh, I'm going to go be attorney general. No, you're not. You were never going to be attorney general. Look at how Hegseth is handling it. Hegseth met some resistance and was like, screw you dudes. I'm going to see this thing through to the end, and you're going to vote me down. It's all going to come out, and we're going to have a hearing, and we're going to talk about my drinking or my womanizing or whatever, and then I'm going to dare you to vote me down. I'm going down in a blaze of glory if I'm going out. Good to Matt Gaetz. Well, I was going to miss a lot of votes, so I'll be out of there. We keep rewarding bad behavior, and this guy, obviously a lot of connections, who knows what strings were actually being pulled, now ends up on this television show. And if you're some career TV person, you're probably pretty pissed off.
Yeah, that he might have bumped you out of the running for it. Here's the interesting take that he had. I mean, is this what he's going to offer up on his new show? He Matt Gaetz, he was on Cameo. Or he still is making $400 a video.
What? He's making how much?
$400 a video.
Somebody's paying $400 for a 1-minute message from Matt Gaetz.
From Matt Gaetz, correct. And
Kevin, is there any person you'd pay $400 to get a 1-minute message from them?
Probably not. I don't see the point.
Casey, is there any person you would pay $400? Even if Kurt Darling was like, I will give you a 1-minute message.
Maybe Kurt.
Would you
maybe
pay
Kurt. Maybe Matt Bear.
I'll gladly take her $400.
Is there any person you would pay $400 to get a 1-minute message from, much less Matt Gaetz?
Again, it would have to be like a Trump or an Elon level.
Here, honey, look at what I got you for Christmas. It's a message from Matt Gaetz.
He wrote on X that his female friends kept asking him one question about the United Healthcare CEO assassin, and that was, is he single? So Matt Gaetz said that Luigi Mangione should get on Cameo. Like, is that the hot take, that he's going to start offering viewers OAN?
I mean, again, we keep rewarding idiots in our society, and he is an idiot.
Okay, well, before we get to Jim Merritt, who's going to join us next, here is the promo for his new show.
You're joining the OAN primetime lineup as a talk show host this January. Tell them all about it.
That's right. Folks can watch the Matt Gaetz Show, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, anywhere you get One America News. You can also get our app, which is a great way to get the best news, the most in-depth coverage and analysis. And of course, we'll throw in an opinion now and then. But there is a time of great optimism that is coming in 2025, and we want to be a part of telling that story, showcasing the work of President Trump, seeing how the power dynamics on Capitol Hill shift and change to affect the lives of all Americans. So we're going to have the best sources, the best coverage, One America News. I could not be happier to be part of the family.
Well, he is used to being on camera, so at least he does have that going for him.
All right, when we come back, if you've got kids, you need to hear this next segment with Jim Merritt, because there are some major changes being proposed to the Lifeline law in Indiana, which could someday save your kid's life. And Jim Merritt working very hard with our lawmakers to get that change. You'll need to hear all about it.
It's up next from 93 WIBC.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
She's too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Staying put. It's cloudy and 29 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. The man accused of murdering the United Healthcare CEO is challenging his extradition to New York. Luigi Mangione appeared in a Pennsylvania courtroom yesterday and was ordered to remain held in jail without bond. Meanwhile, Mangione is accused of fatally shooting the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. President-elect Trump and his nominees are meeting, his nominees for the cabinet are meeting with lawmakers today. Fox's Ryan Schmelz.
Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth will meet with Senator Susan Collins, one of the Republicans who didn't support President-elect Trump this election cycle and who has expressed concern about his accusations of sexual assault and excessive drinking. Homeland Security Secretary nominee Kristi Noem and Director of National Intelligence nominee Tulsi Gabbard are among the other nominees expected to continue meetings with lawmakers. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
The Washington Nationals will be having the first pick in the 2025 MLB draft after making an unlikely jump to the top. The team won yesterday's draft lottery after having just a 10% chance of doing so. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Well, with the latest numbers showing inflation increasing a bit, stocks are increasing as well. The Dow is up 65 to 44,398. The NASDAQ is up 175 to 21,581. And the S&P 500 is up 28 to 6,074. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and with the holidays so close, why not have Zero Res clean your carpets now before family and friends come over? You know, I asked my wife why women don't want to get their carpets cleaned. She said they absolutely do want to get their carpets cleaned, but they just don't want to have to move furniture, worry about people they don't know coming into the house, worry about the chemicals people are using, and waiting around for things to dry. I get it, but that's not Zero Res, and with their gotta love it guarantee, they're going to make sure it's a great experience that you'll never, ever regret. There is nobody better at cleaning than Zero Res. Right now, get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $129 and $75 off air duct cleaning too. That's a $40 savings on carpet cleaning. The Zero Res service is easy to line up, and you can go online at ZeroResIndy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. Just call them and mention WIBC. It's Zero Res. Call 317-388-5141 or book things online at ZeroResIndy.com. That's ZeroResIndy.com.
Looking for a great place to go for car care?
Hi, this is Lonnie Hinkle from Jiffy Lube, and I'd like to share the top 5 reasons that every Hoosier should trust Jiffy Lube to help keep their car running safe and well. Number 5, our computer system holds the maintenance data for every make and model. We know exactly what your car needs and when it needs to be done. Number 4, Jiffy Lube's training system is in the Training Magazine Hall of Fame. Along with companies like Ritz-Carlton, Starbucks, and Nordstrom's, our team does the job right. Number 3, you never need an appointment. We are ready to serve you whenever it works best for you, so come on in and see us. Number 2, Jiffy Lube accepts competitor coupons so you can get our great service at the desperate price of our competitors. And number 1, Jiffy Lube is a one-stop maintenance shop, and we make it easy for you to take great care of your car. Avoid the repair shop by getting your maintenance done at Jiffy Lube. And we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores.
So head to Jiffy Lube. There's really no reason to take your car anywhere else.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best. But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911. Capability Now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
I slid off the road and the airbag went off. The snow's getting heavier. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
Getting close to crunch time, and all 4 locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark locations and staff are ready to help. For nearly 40 years, they've been the gift go-to store with jewelry and candy, toys, games, holiday decor, and hostess gifts, cozy spa items and blankets, Yeti, Vera Bradley, Wind and Willow, Mud Pie, and holiday apparel. So much to choose from, and shopping at Cynthia's is an experience. Cynthia's Hallmark in Greenfield, for as long as I can remember, features the D56 light-up village room. All ages find it such a cool experience to walk through and see the amazing display. From the traditional Dickens in North Pole Village to the Christmas Vacation in Grinch Village, it's quite a fantastic sight. The kids will love the toy cabin and taking a walk over the covered bridge. After dark, the decorated windows are so cool. Take a trip to the world's largest Hallmark store, Cynthia's Hallmark in Greenfield, and support local this holiday season. 3 other stores too, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Allisonville Road, and 116th and Brook School Road in Fishers.
Well, a change was made uptown and the big man Joe in the bay.
So Curtis Hill claims he was vindicated, but did he lose in the end? Let's talk to a State House expert. It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob Casey's here. Look who it is.
Morning, Robert.
The most beloved man in all of Indiana politics and government. 30 years in the Indiana Senate. He threw it all away to be my friend. Jim Merritt, hello.
It was all worth it.
First of all, I do have to say, because we teased this on our little promo that runs throughout the course of the day for the show today, you do indeed live in Buckingham Palace. It's amazing. Your house is gorgeous.
We have a nice home.
I pulled up to the house and I told Gabrielle, I said, this must be an episode of Impractical Jokers. There's no way Merritt lives here. And now we're very interested in renting several rooms in your house.
And when you look at Gabrielle, you kind of wonder, what was she thinking?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you off air what she was thinking. This is a family program. But anyway, and by the way, your wife, she's wonderful. Not only is she very successful in business, she married Carol Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, just a huge win all around for you, Jim Merritt.
She's a very elegant person.
She is. It's amazing. I said, this is, I mean, you hit life's lottery. Congratulations.
Yeah, Sharon called her Jackie Kidd.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, but real quick, before we get into the stuff with Curtis Hill, you had a kind of a big professional win last week, and we just ran out of time and didn't have a chance to get to it, but it is a big deal. It is you're pushing lawmakers to revise the Lifeline law. And look, if you've got kids in their teens or their 20s, you pay attention to this. This is a big deal.
You do. And, just think about yourself rolling along in your car. You've got a kid that goes away to college. He or she is a teenager. And all of a sudden in August, it's a free week before school starts, and they become inebriated, and they have their newfound independence. And all of a sudden, they are drastically overserved. They're not 21. You want someone to call or text 911 to make sure that emergency personnel, can come and save their life. Well, right now, the Lifeline law that we passed, I authored in 2012, passed the law, and we've been spreading awareness for the last 12 years. But all of a sudden, the people that stay and cooperate and text 911, they have immunity. But the person in need of medical attention does not now. It was not a flaw. I couldn't get it passed. And what this bill has, Senate Bill 74, that's authored by Senator Ronald Alting in Lafayette, it says that the person in need of medical attention, it allows immunity. So just put yourself in a position that if you're under 21, I don't want to get my buddy in trouble, and maybe I don't know about the law, and I don't want to get in trouble. This will allow, in an emergency situation, that everybody at the scene of this horror, that you can call or text 911. You have immunity, and with this bill, Senate Bill 74, if it passes the legislature, the governor signs it, that person in need of medical attention will have immunity as well.
Okay, so what's the pushback been on this over the years?
It's enabling. It's incentivizing that this kids will be incentivized. It moves around the under 21 serving of alcohol.
Those people got a
consumption
case?
of.
Those people got a case?
No, they don't. I talked to, for the last 12 years, I've talked to, somebody keeps count for me, over 200,000 kids and adults, really, all the way from middle school to high school and college campuses. And we talk to people and say, never has a university official, an RA, or a police chief on a college campus ever told me that somebody has made this mistake twice, that has been overserved and is in need of medical attention.
And a big part of it is, and this comes back to parenting, right? Like, I didn't underage drink, not because I was worried about needing to have 911 called. I didn't underage drink because if I went to jail, my father would let me sit there. And it was the fear of dealing with my father more so than any sort of physical ramification. And it comes back to, if you ingrain it in your kids, they're probably not going to, they're less likely, let me say, to do it. And it doesn't have anything to do with their health.
But if they make a mistake, and today, Robert, you can't make mistakes in society or you're terminated. People make mistakes. I like to say that I make 5 before breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where we have to have a little grace about ourselves and understand that these kids, they're not mature. They're going to make mistakes. And we need, somebody shouldn't pay for it with their life because somebody says, I don't want to get my buddy in trouble.
Okay, so went through this with the needle exchange several years ago.
Yes.
And this is a very similar conversation where you, the legislature, said, hey, in some of these counties, we have a HIV epidemic. People are sharing dirty needles. Our argument is they're going to keep doing it no matter what. Let's make sure they give them clean needles. And the pushback was, well, now you're promoting people using illegal drugs. What was the fallout of that? What was there change?
As you know, I was at the epicenter with Scott County.
Oh, I remember.
And I like counterintuitive. It's like the safe haven law where you drop your baby off at a baby box. I wrote that law as well. I like to grind it out on these tough bills, and the idea of you're incentivizing somebody to move around the adoption program or move around the use of drugs with a needle. It is well known and well worn that these issues save lives, and the whole idea is saving lives.
Jim Merritt's our guest. All right, let's talk about Curtis Hill for a second. We had him on the show yesterday. He certainly says he's vindicated. The women dismissing the lawsuit against him at the last second. I would say it's hard to argue with that from the standpoint of, hey, if he was indeed a Night Stalker-esque type character as he was portrayed, and he was a threat to humanity and done these horrific things to you and was a threat to other people, wouldn't you want to get that on the record? Wouldn't you? I mean, you've gone this far. Wouldn't you want your day in court? And the fact that they folded at the end, I would say that's a bad look for those women.
The collapse, I'd agree with that. But this is a total waste of time and legal money, court time for the last 7 years. And the whole idea behind this long time ago was wrong place, wrong time.
What's your slogan? Make good choices?
Yeah, make good decisions.
You make good decisions. Curtis Hill made a horrible decision to be in that bar that night.
And as our friend Abdul said on State House Happenings, he went to the bar and left and then came back. This was totally bad decisions. And the situation was terrible. An apology at the beginning would have made this all go away. The legislature, not my Senate caucus, but the legislature tried to kick him out of office, tried to kind of hold him up. And it was it's a bad scene. And I hadn't even known that this was going on until I saw the news on Monday.
So this is the point, right? So he wins kind of in the end because they do fold. And look, there was never any criminal charges against him, no ethics violations. All the lawsuits got dismissed. He did get some discipline from the Supreme Court based on behavior as a lawyer, but he lost too because he was on a track to be the governor. Heck, he might have been on track to be president of the United States someday. Who knows? And it's all over.
Or attorney general with the federal government with Trump.
It's all over.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan nominated Raymond Donovan to be his labor secretary, and the ensuing search for wrongdoing by Donovan, and finally, I think he was nominated and actually served as labor secretary. But what he said to President Reagan at the end was, "What door do I go knock on to get my reputation back?"
Right. Well, that's a great point. And so while Curtis made a horrible decision to go to that bar and engage with those women that was stupid.
It's a Me Too movement.
You don't deserve to have your life ruined over it. And, you think about the toll on his family.
Yes.
And then you think about the fact that his political career, I mean, who knows? People come back from stuff all the time. But based on his last 2 forays into it, basically over with, I mean, it's bad. Here's the other thing that I want to point out, and it's people that you served with. The behavior by people like Eric Holcomb and the leadership inside that state house who couldn't sprint fast enough to microphones to condemn this guy, to basically call him guilty, demand his resignation before any sort of day in court.
Yeah.
Those people should be ashamed of themselves.
Well, before even talking to him. And the system really let Curtis down. And he let himself.
They hated him.
Yeah, and he let himself down too. And so it was a disaster from the beginning, and just kept fulminating and growing.
Look, I think about the way Holcomb and the Good Time Fun gang over there handled Curtis Hill, who was never criminally charged with anything. No ethics violations were found. And then compare that to the way they handled the Jim Lucas, who drives drunk, blows through a barricade, flees the scene, and then there's basically not a peep. Now, look, I'm not doing this condemn Jim Lucas. I'm simply talking about the guy pled guilty to that. The guy admitted, I did the thing, and not a word from those people about that. And the guy does nothing criminal, nothing even ethically wrong based on the State House rules, and he's the Night Stalker.
Yeah, very uneven.
I mean, it's
to say the least.
But it should show our audience. It should show our audience who these people are. They don't actually care about right and wrong. They simply care about, in the case of, and this is the thread throughout the whole Holcomb administration, trying to bury and destroy your enemies. Not about right and wrong, not what's just or unjust. If you play ball, if you're a good boy or girl, then you can basically do whatever you want. But if you stand up to us, hey, we're going to take you out, buddy.
Yeah, it goes back to fairness. And this is why people fear government, is because at times it's just uneven and unfair.
Yeah. What's going on with you? What are you doing?
We're doing Merit in the Morning, and we just may have the weatherman from Channel 59 as our guest next week. We're going to call him.
How exciting.
Yeah. Well, you never know. We're going to have a brutal winter this year.
Yeah, and maybe we'll get snow for Christmas?
Yes.
All right, Jim Merritt. Find him on Twitter at Jim_Merritt.
Yes.
You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
We really like prima donnas here in this country, so we elected a bunch to the United States Senate. We're going to talk about their latest drama on the Tony Kinnacast. 7 p.m. See you there.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, We provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Discover Barkeep Vodka, the cleanest and smoothest vodka thanks to its unique compression filtering by indie-based True Essence.
Top shelf quality and value, and you're supporting local Indiana farms. Grab a bottle at any Indiana store or visit barkeepvodka.com.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIPC.com.
Rob, this is your area of expertise.
Oh, no.
Ohio State lost to Michigan 13-10. Was that just last week?
Woo, we're talking about football. I didn't know where you were going with this. Thank you. Okay, good. Football. What's the question?
When was that Ohio State-Michigan game?
It was 2 weeks ago now.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right. That was the game that the Wolverines tried to plant the flag.
That's correct.
In midfield, and then
they got pepper sprayed.
And then the Big Ten fined both Ohio State and Michigan $100,000 for the incident.
Yeah.
Something new has happened. A state rep from Ohio in Sylvania Township has introduced the OHIO Sportsmanship Act.
Oh.
And this would make it a felony for anyone who plants a flag at midfield at Ohio Stadium.
This is the most government thing ever, where these guys lost this game. You embarrassed yourselves. You didn't come to play. Michigan was clearly better prepared. Ryan Day can't beat Michigan. And so instead of looking in the mirror and going, wow, that was brutally embarrassing, why don't we just figure out how to win this game against a subpar team? And then we won't have an issue. They go to the state lawmakers and are like, you guys got to pass a law to stop them from embarrassing us. And some lawmaker, instead of, I don't know, solving issues with taxes or infrastructure or healthcare or whatever, he goes, yeah, it seems like a good thing to use my time on.
Let's legislate everything. You know what he was probably thinking to himself? I'm helping.
I mean, it's just, so you would be guilty if you're a Michigan football player. 2 years from now, you would be guilty of a felony if you put a flag on the field.
Well, no, it's not just a Michigan player. No person shall plant a flagpole with a flag attached to it in the center of the football field at Ohio Stadium at the Ohio State University.
So these lawmakers,
though, only on the day of a football competition.
They ruin everything. And instead of saying, wow, that's kind of the cool new thing about these rivalry games is if you lose at home to your rival, they're going to show you up, buddy, and they're going to plant that flag. And instead of just saying, hey, why don't we let the teams police it, which kind of is what happened in the Michigan-Ohio State thing, where there was a big brawl that let them work it out. Oh, no, now we got to get the lawmakers involved. This is the most government thing ever.
Whoever violates this section is guilty of a felony of the 5th degree. Marcus Freeman, coach of Notre Dame, he had something to say about that.
Coach, what's your feelings on the flag planting epidemic that's going on?
Flaggate. Listen, I wouldn't be too high on somebody else planting a flag in our home stadium. But for us, let's get our butts in the locker room and celebrate team glory together. Don't take a flag and plant it on the field. Like, let's go into the locker room and spend that time together, celebrating the way we need to. Like, you put so much work into this thing.
That's why I love talking to you, because if you get beat, you earn it on the field. Right. Beat them on the field.
don't line up at the middle of the field after the game ready to throw fisticuffs because they're trying to plant the flag. But what you just said sparked something to me, because when you plant the flag, you're making it about them. That's it. Whereas if you go to the locker room and you celebrate and you go to the fans and you do the fight song, you're making it about us.
That's right. It's a bad look for college football. You don't want.
Well, I bet those guys are a blast at parties.
Yeah, so, but is it a bad look? I mean, does it represent the organization poorly if you beat your rival and then you smear it in their face?
Of course, but that's the point. Let the players police itself. You're going to do it. Somebody should be able to take their helmet and knock the guy upside the head who plants the flag. If you let it police itself, they'll put a stop to it. We don't need lawmakers getting involved. Let's settle it like men. Let's settle it with our hands. I mean, come on. This is, he's right. I mean, I would handle it the same way he would, which is we won the game. Let's be polite and let's get off the field and then celebrate. But if somebody's going to get lippy or get mouthy or get smart or whatever, these are essentially grown-ass men. They can take care of it themselves. You don't need a law to step in.
A bill almost certainly won't pass.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not.
Ohio State loses to Michigan a lot.
You never know. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Well, unfortunately, if you're single or widowed woman, the stats aren't in your favor. You run a far greater risk of running out of money in retirement than any man or married couple. So you can discover the strategies that could ensure you never run out of money in retirement with Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We know and trust Bill, and you can too. Trust me, the last thing you want is to be 80 years old, full of life, and flat broke.
And look, Bill Demery understands all the different options you have to generate income in retirement. And he's helped thousands of people, including Nige and myself. So we're not retired yet, but we're laying the groundwork to have our money taken care of. And that is why you should set up a free chat with Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. 317-648-5120.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Great holiday savings all month at Tom Roush Lincoln. And during the Lincoln Wish List sales event, select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 60 months. And all these great deals include the Lincoln Conquest Trade Assist. And don't you forget, all Lincolns come with complimentary pickup and delivery service. So get some of those holiday savings right now at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,845. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Changing question. Are you keeping as much of your investment gains as possible? High taxes can erode returns quickly, so you need a tax-optimized portfolio. At Creative Planning, our money managers and specialists work together to make sure your portfolio and wealth are managed in a tax-efficient manner. It's what you keep that really matters. Why not give your wealth a second look? Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
Get a great deal on select Kubota equipment. The BX Series is the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. The versatile lineup is built to help you make the most of your land. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or save up to $3,100. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Fishers and Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota. Or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Downtown Indy, dressed in holiday style and glowing with bright lights and festive sights all season long. Gather with friends on Monument Circle to enjoy stunning holiday lighting and audio-visual presentations every night of the week. Create new memories while dining at award-winning restaurants just steps from your favorite attractions, sporting events, and performances. Come winter wander in downtown Indy. Come for an event, stay for a holiday experience. Visit IndyWonderland.com for all the details, including curated downtown holiday itineraries. That's IndyWonderland.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, snow squalls are coming. Plus, Harrison Silcox reports on why the state Supreme Court isn't touching abortion for now, and more insight into why Purdue's athletic director made the decision he did for the football team. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
What went wrong in Afghanistan and why? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A House hearing investigating the 2021 American withdrawal as the Taliban retook control of the country is about to start.
I don't expect any great answers from Secretary of State Blinken. I think he's been avoiding us from the very get-go.
Republican Congressman Rich McCormick is on the Foreign Affairs Committee probing the U.S. exit that'll question Blinken. That exit included a terror attack, killing 13 American troops. And McCormick tells Fox,
this is the worst foreign policy of any president in the history of the United States. Why can't we admit what we did wrong so we can actually move on?
Now, later today, Secretary of State Blinken will travel to Jordan for talks on Syria, days after opposition rebels took control of that country.
Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, says Syrian President Bashar al-Assad was toppled as a result of a plan by the United States of Israel. He claims to have evidence but didn't share it in his speech. The fall of Assad is being seen as a blow to Iranian influence in the region.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. New Jersey's governor is about to meet with lawmakers this hour and then mayors next hour for briefings on the big mysterious drones flying over the state since mid-November, the day after the FBI told a House hearing they don't know who's operating them. New Jersey State Senator John Bramnick tells Fox,
well, it's unlikely we get more information. All of these drones should be grounded until we know where they're coming from and what their purpose is.
Thousands of people on edge waiting for possible evacuation orders in smoky Malibu, California. Thousands have already fled their homes as an out-of-control wildfire has now burned nearly 4,000 acres. Fox's William Lajeunesse reports near the flames.
Moderate damage, no injuries or fatalities, 7 structures destroyed, 8 damaged. That's a relief for a fire that caught nearly everyone by surprise because it's so late in the fire season.
Inflation on the rise again. A report this morning shows a 0.3% increase in consumer prices last month from October. The annual inflation rate ticked back up to 2.7%. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Call it a blitz of snowfall. It's 30 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. That's what you can expect this afternoon while you're on your way home from work. Snow squalls bringing thick, heavy, but short bursts of snowfall.
I think accumulation in general is going to probably be a half inch or less. We may see a few locations that approach an inch. Probably the greatest impact is going to be more across the northern part of the state.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service. A car chase unfolded early Wednesday on Indy's east side involving state police. Sergeant John Perrine talks about how it started.
It was a stolen vehicle. Troopers located or saw a vehicle that came back stolen with that information. And when they tried to pull it over, the driver fled at high speeds away from the police.
Police found guns, drugs, a teenager, and another person in the car. Both were taken to the hospital. The state Supreme Court has decided to delay a ruling regarding the state's abortion law. Harrison Silcox.
You may remember when Indiana's law on abortion changed, banning the procedure past 20 weeks or in certain cases where the mother's life could be at risk. 4 women associated with Hoosier Jews for Choice filed a lawsuit against the law, saying it violates the state's Religious Freedom Act. Indiana's High Court ruled Tuesday to not hear the case, but they do plan to get around to it eventually. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Governor-elect Mike Braun has named Suzanne Jaworski as the state's next Energy and Natural Resources Secretary. She is a former staff member in the first administration of President-elect Donald Trump and also worked for a coal company. As you already know, Barry Odom from UNLV is the new head coach of the Purdue football Boilermakers. Well, athletic director Mike Babinski on why he hired Odom.
We wanted somebody that could grasp and find a strategy to operate effectively in
what college football and college athletics are going to look like beginning in 2025.
Which includes more NIL influence. Babinski says part of Odom's hiring is an also increased investment in NIL. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WYBC.com.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers and Carmel, designers of fine custom jewelry.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
It is Wednesday, December 11th. It's 5 minutes after 10 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. You know, Rob, sometimes talking about sports is more fun than talking about politics. However, in this case, the two have become intertwined, it seems. Caitlin Clark was named Times Athlete of the Year, and this is the first time that a WNBA player has received this honor, which was introduced in 2019. However, many people are now very upset with Caitlin Clark and something that she said during an interview.
Yeah, if you're a longtime television watcher, you may remember the phrase "jump the shark." Of course, that was a famous episode of Happy Days where Fonzie literally jumps a shark, and that became when your thing is now reached its pinnacle and it's all downhill from here and people are going to get tired of you real fast. That's jumping the shark. And with this little commentary that Caitlin Clark did, I think we are beginning to see the jump the shark phase for her in terms of her national prominence and popularity, because wow, is she an idiot.
Okay, so throughout the season, some of her fans have claimed that she's been attacked by players. Other people have made racist or misogynistic comments to them, and she said it's not anything that she can control and that she doesn't see it a lot. But then when she was speaking to Time Magazine, based on this article, the cover that she's on, she addressed the topic again, and she said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege.
So basically, she's like, I didn't earn the accolades. I didn't earn the awards. I just got them because I'm white.
I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. She went on to say that.
Wait, time out. So what are we doing here with her? Why is anybody giving her any attention then? If she's admitted, the only reason she has what she has is because she's white, then why are people buying tickets? Why are people going? She's admitted she's a fraud. She's admitting right there. Read the quote again, please.
I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege.
She plays in a league that is predominantly, overwhelmingly black.
Mm-hmm. She said the league was built on black players.
And what was it built? It was built right into the toilet. Not because the players are black, but because people don't care about women's basketball. It has nothing to do with black or white. That league is a charity case. That league is the equivalent of feeling bad for someone and allowing it to exist out of political correctness. That's exactly what the league is. It's the only reason it exists. Before she showed up, it loses money every single year. The TV ratings are horrible. When she was out of the playoffs, the TV ratings were horrible. People do not consume women's basketball in mass. You know when they did? When she played. It had nothing to do with her being black or white. It had to do with her being really, really good. And she demeaned herself. She invalidated herself. And she is placating to these idiots, and very harmful people by giving them any sort of credence and going along with this DEI woke bull crap.
I want to share with you some of the comments that people are making about what she said. Just like that, the WNBA is unwatchable again. Another comment. What a disgrace. There goes the only reason I barely ever thought about the WNBA. And here's another one. It could have been a moment of national pride, but it turned into betrayal. She bowed at the altar of wokeness.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, to go out and you so need to be accepted, you so need to be liked that you cut the legs out from your own accomplishments, which you earned and you deserved, and you invalidated that because what? You want a group of people who hate you to accept you? Well,
she's the
why
reason
would anybody pay to see that?
She's the reason there wasn't a surge in viewership, ticket sales, and merchandise sales. She is the one who is propping up that entire league, and she just handed over her ownness of that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if you're one of these people that are paying these inflated ticket prices. You got to take a long, hard look in the mirror now, because she's basically telling you, well, I didn't earn any of this. I didn't deserve it. I only got it because I'm white. Well, this is where we're at. And I kind of thought when Trump won, because you're starting to see this in pockets of society, that people were moving past the I have to feel bad about things I don't have any control over or not doing anything wrong. Like, I kind of thought we were moving past prominent people having to say things they clearly don't believe. I don't know what's worse, whether she doesn't believe it and said it, or she does
really
believe it and
believes it.
said it.
I mean, she should really be like, I've got skills. I practice all the time. People come to see me play. I'm good. That's right. But instead, she just gave her credit away.
Yeah, I mean, she should be honest. This league is a dumpster fire. It's a financial boondoggle. Nobody wants to go and participate. The TV ratings are trash, except for when I'm involved. You're all welcome.
The only reason anybody talks about this league is because of me. Do you remember the headlines about the Olympic team when I wasn't on it? You were talking about it because of me.
Exactly. I mean, the only conversations that people have about the WNBA is ones that involve her. And look at what happened to the television ratings. When her team was eliminated in the playoffs, the ratings went back into the toilet. I mean, Tiger Woods should not ever feel bad about changing the game of golf. Wayne Gretzky should not feel bad about changing the game of hockey. Mike Tyson should not feel bad about changing how boxing was viewed. You did this. It's your talent. It didn't have anything to do with your skin color one way or another. And you have demeaned and invalidated yourself, and you have shown that you are not strong enough to stand up to these people, because there's no way she actually believes she just got those things because she's white.
So Indiana Governor-elect Mike Braun has named somebody as his Energy and Natural Resources Secretary. He's got 8 people that he's naming in his cabinet so far, right? And he has announced picks for public safety, education, commerce, budget, transportation, and now
He's picking a lot of losers. You notice this? I asked this question yesterday. Why is it that the people that get picked for these cabinet type positions are people who have been rejected at large by the public? Like, look at the people he's picking for these positions. He keeps picking people who can't win elections.
Who lost elections.
This is Susie Jaworski, right? Okay, so she lost she couldn't even win a state house race. You got Mike Speedy, who got smoked running for Congress. By the way, got smoked running for Congress. Oh, hey, Mike Speedy, I know he listens to the show. If you got something to say, Mike Speedy, don't say it to other people. Come on in here. Casey, can we give Mike Speedy an hour if he wants it to come in here and say whatever he wants to say to my face?
I take it he's been saying things not to your face?
No, that's right. So can we right now say that if Mike Speedy wants to flap his gums about me, that he can come in here and do it right to my face? Sure. Absolutely. So you got Mike Speedy, who's a total loser, who got smoked by Jefferson Shreve because of all the taxes he raised as a state rep and government he grew. He gets a position. Jennifer Ruth Green, who, while has a wonderful military story and should be applauded for that, she lost a congressional race. Loser. I mean, he just keeps picking all of these people who have been rejected by the voters, and then what's their punishment? Oh, come on here to this cushy cabinet level position. Why do we keep picking losers?
So the Secretary of Energy and Natural Resources is responsible for some key agencies. They include the Indiana Department of Natural Resources, Indiana Department of Environment Management, and also Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. So this is going to be somebody responsible for setting rates.
I would just love an explanation about why, of all the people we could pick, these people who had an opportunity in front of the voters to be judged on their merits. And in the case of like at least Jennifer Ruth Green lost in an actual election in a Democrat district. Okay, that's a super Democrat district. Okay, fine. But in the case of Susie Jaworski and Mike Speedy, they lost in Republican primaries. Republican primary voters, of which Mike Braun is the head of the Republican Party, had a chance to view these people on their merits, and they said, no, thank you. We don't need nor want you around. And yet they just remember in Caddyshack where Judge Smales is walking through the locker room and he looks at the people and he goes, don't you people have homes? Like, that's how I feel about these people. Don't you have homes? Can't you go get real jobs? Can't you do real stuff? Can't you do something that's not in the government? You lost. You lost. Go home.
Well, she will be responsible for reliable, affordable energy for Hoosiers so that when you get that bill for your utilities, this is the person you want to contact.
Okay, but again, she's been in this field for a very long time. Is our energy affordable now? Casey?
No, it's actually one of the highest in the country.
Again, we keep putting these people in these positions who are just the same retreads over and over and over again. And isn't there somebody who didn't lose an election? Can't we choose someone for these? What are there, 8 he's got to choose from or whatever?
Yeah, and I believe he's named 6 so far.
Come on. I mean, and everybody deserves a chance to fail on their own, but my goodness, it's just always the same losers, of which Mike Speedy is one of the biggest losers imaginable. He got beat by Jefferson Shreve. Jefferson Shreve, after all that crap he pulled during his mayor's race, here's what a bad job Mike Speedy did as a state rep. He was so bad as a state rep that when the voters had to make a choice between gun grabber Shreve and Speedy, they said, give us the gun grabber. That's what a bad job Mike Speedy's done. And there he is, right back in another position of power.
All right, we need to continue on. Promises made, promises kept. Oh, boy. One of our state reps has his own idea about what to do with property taxes.
Oh, this is the guy. This is the guy that filed the property tax bill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
He says this session, I know, we're going to take a break here. I just want to tee it up for everybody. He said this session, I intend to file a pair of bills that would end the ridiculous spikes many Hoosier homeowners have faced with their total property tax bills. There's more, and we'll get to it next from 93 WIBC.
I remember our very first WIBC Radiothon for the Salvation Army. We raised $5,000.
The 30th anniversary WIBC Radiothon for the Salvation Army, presented by Financial Center.
Your donation is so important.
Since 1994, your generosity has helped raise millions of dollars that stay here in Central Indiana. Join us this Friday and Saturday, doing the most good. The Salvation Army of Central Indiana, Financial Center at 93 WIBC.
Don't miss the holiday concert experience of the season. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve. December 19th, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster. An awe-inspiring blend of rock, classical, and holiday music for the entire family. Don't miss Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. I was so sick and tired of my old windows during the winter. There was condensation, there were chilly drafts coming from my old windows. Once I got new Window Nation windows installed, that all ended. And now during Window Nation's year-end sale, you can get 50% off all style of windows with a bonus 10% off.
Make 2025 the year you take care of your house. And that starts by calling Window Nation, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. Hurry, the sale ends December 31st.
See the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Well, that was a real heater I didn't intend to get on.
Surprised even me.
I think you knew
I should be used to it by now.
I think you knew I was going to get on that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what Casey does. By the way, it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. Casey will hear me say enough in the hallways and during the breaks, and then she manipulates it into a segment where she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised that you became totally enraged.
You went off the rails. My shocked face." Well, and here we go again. You sent me a text last night, and you said, if I can find your exact verbiage, I don't know if I can actually say what you said. I'd have to review it. Oh, you want to welcome someone to the General Assembly.
We got to talk about, and this is one of the things we do very well, and I think one of the reasons, we're number one. Number one.
Yes, because of our fantastic listeners.
Absolutely.
Who we're counting on to help us get the property tax reform across the finish line.
We're number one because nobody takes a dump on the power brokers like this radio program, and that's why we're endeared to the public at large. But one of the things that we do is we kind of give people an insider baseball look, and we make it entertaining and we make it fun on why your government fails or why your government doesn't work or things that are actually happening, and we figure out a way. I really am a gift to humanity, Casey, because no other person in the city could explain things in the way we do because I have a lot of experience with it.
I feel like I've been gifted, yes.
Well, you have. Yeah, I feel like I've been something. And I saw a post yesterday, and this is why. And look, I like this person. He's a nice enough guy, and I think his heart's in the right place. But I saw this post, and it's a great example of why I think public policy fails. So one of the reasons and you know this because you've been in management, not in politics, but you've been in management. Mm-hmm. And one of the when you have big ideas, you've got to have uniformity, and you got to have everybody pulling in the same direction.
You have to have buy-in.
That's right. On the big stuff, because it's very hard when there's not organization or kind of a streamlined, here's how this is going to work, that everybody starts getting their own ideas on things. And when everybody starts getting their own ideas on things, you have too many cooks in the kitchen and too many things to sort through, and then nothing ends up happening. One of the things, the Indiana General Assembly, not mark it down, it's 10/21 on December the 11th, 2024. I'm about to say something nice about the Republicans. One of the things they did very well was the abortion bill. And that bill was done well because they started from the premise of here's the bill. Not everybody gets a crack at it or everybody's in the stew. They came out with the press conference and said, here is the bill that we are working with. And this was the bill that will be presented to both houses of the General Assembly. And if you guys want to tinker around with this and make some changes based on testimony, okay, but broad strokes with a press conference with all the power brokers standing at the podium, here's the bill we're working with. And then everybody kind of said in an organized fashion, all right, all hands are on the football, starting with this, and we'll figure out a way to make it better. One of the major concerns that I have with this property tax issue is that there's too many people throwing too many ideas out there, and then you're going to have a jumbled stew that is going to be very hard to unwind and vote on, and there's not an organized consensus on here's the bill. There's not the Flanders boys, Bray and Houston, coming out, or Braun coming out with leaders from Ways and Means going, here's the bill. Here's the bill that's going to start in committee, and here's where it's going to work. And we saw this yesterday. Andrew Ireland, he is a state rep from Indianapolis. Very nice guy. I think he's well-meaning. But he did this yesterday where he throws out this property tax bill that he has proposed that he's, I don't know, asking for some sort of gold star or Sagamore the Wabash or what. But the bill doesn't include any of Braun's property tax resets. And so, look, if you're going to throw things out in the public sphere at large, I'm going to comment on it, right? If you're going to put it for public consumption. And I basically ripped him, and I said, what do you want? Do you want a gold star for not hitting a whole bunch of the tenets of the Braun property tax reform plan? Like, why do you want applause for this? All this bill that you're doing does is caps the growth at which property taxes can go up for regular people. So you're not giving me anything in terms of fixing the issue. You're just limiting the amount I'm going to get screwed over in the future. And some other people had commented on it, and I had made the point that we were going to discuss this today. And very quickly then, I'm not saying that this is the reason he was there, but I'm just saying in a very timely fashion, he responded and said something to the effect of, and this really pissed me off. He said, oh, no, I support Braun's property tax plan. Because first, initially tried to say Braun would have to file it or something, right?
Well, he said that he would make it bill number 3. Of course, Mike Braun has said, no, this is going to be bill number 1.
So that's the point without confusing people here. What he tried to say was, I support Braun's property tax resets, but somebody else is going to have to file that bill in the referendum language. Somebody else is going to have to file. It's like, why? So you're telling me that there's some other plan at work here that the public at large, it's in the works? You know about it. They don't know about it. When do we at large get to know about it?
He said Braun's team would have someone carrying that as an agenda bill, along with a referendum reform and Braun's take on the annual caps.
So why aren't you carrying it? If you're
well, you clap back and you said Braun doesn't file the bills, you do.
Right. If it's that big of a deal, are you admitting to us that you're a nobody because you're not putting this in your language? Are the important people? This is my point. So now you're going to have, and this is what's going to happen this year. You're going to have 10 to 20 of these property tax bills, and they're all going to say something different. And then it's going to be a fist fight on all of these different things. And my very, very, very grave concern is that it's all going to become noise and it's all going to get confusing, and then it's not going to get passed.
Well, at the end, he did say, you're right. We file these bills, not the governor. And he said, I support his reset plan and hope that the reforms we pass are even more aggressive than proposed.
Okay, then put it in the language. Put it in your bill. If it doesn't matter, then put it in there. Why is it not in there? And this is where it comes back to our audience. Our audience is going to have to be the people who drive this year. And again, I think Andrew Ireland's a nice guy and a well-meaning guy, but this is complete garbage that you throw this out there and act like you want some sort of gold star or round of applause for only putting a fraction of the stuff that Braun has demanded be in the bill. And then when you get called to account on it, go, well, somebody else is going to do it. Why didn't you do it? You're admitting either laziness that you didn't put it in there, or you're admitting you don't want it, which he claims he wants it, or you're admitting I'm so irrelevant, I'm just doing all this for show, and then some adult supervision is going to come in and put the real thing forward at the end.
Well, we know Rod and Todd are not in favor of this, right?
Well, wait. Now, Houston, I don't know if Todd, that'd be Todd. Todd, so by the way, for those of you who are new to the program, Rod and Todd were the kids of Ned Flanders on The Simpsons, the neighbor on The Simpsons. And it just so happens that the leader of the House is Todd Houston, and the leader of the Senate is Rod Bray. So to simplify it for everyone, because it's so hard to say Rod and Todd, we just call them the Flanders boys. And Todd Houston has seemed more open to this, and I was surprised by this, than Bray. Bray tried to come out and say, we're not doing that, and then he got bombarded with emails and phone calls and everything else, and then he backpedaled. So who knows what anybody's doing? Who knows what anybody's doing? The point on all of this is the opening salvo, if your look at me moment is filing a bill that leaves out huge tenets of Braun's property tax. Because, look, if you just cap the growth, that's crap. You've just served me and the taxpayers of Indiana a pile of crap because you're still having the inflated bills from the COVID era. You're just capping the growth going forward. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help people afford to stay in their homes. And I'm not giving you a gold star, and I'm not saying you're doing a good job. And you know me, Casey, I am an equal opportunity offender. Our slogan here is we hate all of these people equally, and even people who I think are nice, good people. If you're going to throw garbage out to the taxpayers, we're going to call you out on it.
Who is this on? Is this on Mike Braun to get with somebody and say, this is what I want, come up with the bill, let's go? Or is it on the rep to say, this is what he wants, I'm going to try and craft it as closely as possible?
Well, he wasn't trying to craft it as closely as possible at all. He left huge portions of it out. And obviously, Andrew Ireland's not a stupid person. That was done by design. I think what you're going to see, and this is where we come into the equation, is a lot of those state reps don't like Braun because he's outside the orbit. And senators. I'm not trying to pick on just the state reps. A lot of people don't like Braun because he's outside the orbit. He's not one of them. He's not the way clearly these guys rubber stamped everything Holcomb wanted. They liked Holcomb. They can go back to their districts and huff and puff and whine and complain. They were a rubber stamp for Eric Holcomb. The Republican Party in this state, by and large, is a supporter and a mirror of the agenda of Eric Holcomb. Don't buy the bull crap that they tell you at these breakfasts or whatever else. They have rubber stamped this guy. And Braun is coming in as an outsider and is upsetting that apple cart, and you're going to see a real fight for power between the General Assembly and the Braun administration, and the property tax issue is going to be the epicenter of it. And that's where they're going to have to be able to rally the troops to show the lawmakers what a big issue this is, or you'll get crap like this.
Yeah, and by rally the troops, you mean our listeners.
And by the way, people who want to go, see, we told you so, like, you rainwater people, Rainwater wouldn't have gotten the time of day on his proposals. There's nothing Braun's done so far that's wrong. There's nothing Braun's done that we're upset with. He's followed through on everything in terms of saying this is the plan, this is the agenda. Donald Rainwater or any other person that was in there would be dealing with the same goof troop, and you would have even less of a plan because Don Rainwater's plan was a joke. It was a joke, just like his candidacy this time. J-O-K-E, a joke.
We've got your voicemails coming up next. It's 93 WIBC.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's fighting tooth and nail. Cloudy, some snow starting to develop on radar. It's 31 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. The man accused of murdering the CEO of United Healthcare is staying put in a Pennsylvania jail cell. Fox's Lillian Wu.
A defiant Luigi Mangione as he was led into a Pennsylvania courtroom.
The intelligence of the American people.
The suspect charged with the killing in Manhattan of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, for now remaining in custody in Pennsylvania, where the 26-year-old is fighting gun-related and other charges, refusing to waive extradition to New York, where his defense attorney also expects him to plead not guilty to murder charges. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
The last surviving member of the Mod Squad has died. Michael Cole, best known for playing undercover cop Pete Cochran on the Mod Squad, which ran from 1968 to 1973. Cole died last night. He was 84 years old. Clarence Williams III, who played Link Hayes, died in 2021. Peggy Linton, who was Julie Barnes, died in 2019. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
This Christmas, as you're picking out gifts for loved ones, take a moment to think about the future gift you can give yourself. The gift of a secure retirement. Howard Bailey Financial is here to help you unwrap the possibilities of peace and confidence. With our free retirement toolkit, you'll get practical steps and insights to plan for the years ahead. From saving strategies to planning tips, this toolkit is like a financial compass for your future. And best of all, it's completely free to download. Don't wait until next year to start planning. Text GIFT to 888-262-1104. Download your free retirement toolkit and give yourself the gift of financial confidence this holiday season. That's GIFT to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Howard Bailey Security, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Man, it is hard to believe that Christmas is, let's see, what is it, 11th? It's 2 weeks away. Christmas is 2 stinking weeks away, and this Christmas season would be the perfect time to check out Life Church. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. They're warm, they're welcoming, they treat you like so much more than just a number. You are an individual. And over the years, many WIBC listeners have found a home at Life Church. It's great. I've even drugged Casey a couple times. She didn't combust or anything. Chance to check out all the locations: Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, or Pendleton, plus awesome online services. Learn more about everything at lifechurchin.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Wilson, third-generation owner of Wilson Farm Market, just 15 minutes north of 465 on 31. If you are looking for your source of homegrown, locally made. Know where your food's coming from. We are your spot. We have hand-dipped ice cream, 130 different kinds of cheese. We fry chicken, just a little bit of everything. A foodie's heaven. Wilson Farm Market, where good taste runs in the family. Just 15 minutes north of 465, right on US 31.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
From sugar cookie crumbs in the kitchen to pine needles under the tree, count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Power up the holiday and give a gift from the top of their wish list. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $159.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions, so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This Christmas, come see Pierce Jewelers' stunning showcases of spectacular designs and be dazzled by their one-of-a-kind collection of fine jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You need better water. You just can't find anybody better than the pros at C&J. Great systems, great people too. Call C&J at 317-733-SOFT.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present Voicemails. Brought to you by QC Kinetics for non-surgical regenerative medicine treatment at 317-559-PAIN.
The phone number is 317-684-8444 if you'd like to contribute your voicemail with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. So yesterday we had Ethan Hatcher join us from Saturday on the Circle, and he went over his list of the best and worst presidents, and that was based off of that article from Daily Mail, how they ranked Joe Biden as the worst modern president. And on that list, Richard Nixon was also at the bottom of the list.
That's
and
right.
Somebody wanted to call and defend him.
Yeah, you guys are just falling into the same old, giving Richard Nixon a bad rap. Richard Nixon, while he had his problems, does not deserve to be in the top list of bad presidents. He's got many accomplishments. He eliminated the draft. He lowered the voting age to 18. He participated and started the Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty to reduce nuclear weapons. And he went to China to start diplomatic affairs. So please stop falling into the trap of giving Richard Nixon a bad name. He's far better than a lot of others.
Okay, so I think he's on to something a little.
Wait, that's Impractical Jokers, right? Like some guy you said now call the show.
No.
And tell Rob that Richard Nixon was a great president.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, there's only 9 that we had to choose from. So where would we put him on this list? Yeah, let's talk about what Nixon did with China and opening up the doors to China. How has China done the past 50 years, Casey? More powerful? Yeah, a lot more powerful. How's our trade imbalance with China since Richard Nixon opened the doors to China? How's that going?
Well, I think his point was that he was trying to normalize relations, at least get the conversation going. China was closed off until Richard Nixon went there.
All that has happened is China has become bigger, more powerful, and a much larger menace to the rest of the world. Oh, yeah, let's talk about farming, about Richard Nixon's brilliant, ingenious plan that the whole world should be fed through large large farms and bring about the death of the family farm. Just wonderful. Nixon did amazing. Oh, yeah, and of course, let's see. He was elected in 68. Vietnam was 75. So, 7 years? Yeah, I mean, it sure took him 7 years to solve the Vietnam thing, but we finally got out of there. Yeah, sure. Get out of here.
Well, he did bring home POWs from Vietnam, and he did host the largest reception in the White House in their honor. So he at least acknowledged their efforts.
Oh, sorry for leaving you there for dead. Here's a dinner with a steak. And we're all even now.
He did dedicate $100 million to begin war on cancer. So he kind of started initiating this process. Biden said it was going to be his moonshot. He was going to cure cancer.
Well, let's talk about that. Okay,
but at least Nixon got the ball rolling.
Rolling to what?
Well, he started it rolling. Nobody's done anything with it.
Nothing about life under Richard Nixon that you say, oh my gosh, everything got so much better. Nothing. He was a mediocre at best president.
I will say there is one thing that has affected me directly and my daughter as well, is that Nixon signed Title IX in 1972. So had it not been for him, I probably would not have been involved in sports, and certainly my daughter would not have had the advantages that she had.
Well, we'll call the whole Watergate fiasco, we'll call it even then, because he signed Title IX.
No, I just wanted to point out one thing that he did do that was good, that actually had a direct effect on my life.
Almost every single president, there's something. Now, this current one I would struggle with, but almost every single president, I mean, even take a Bill Clinton. You can look at it and say Bill Clinton did a phenomenal job by force. He didn't do it by choice, but he did it by force of working with the Republicans to balance the federal budget, and it created a gangbusters economy for the final 4 years of his presidency that's some of the best in the history of the country. Almost every president, you can find something that they did.
Oh, you would hope there's at least one good thing.
What would that be with Biden? Let's really try here in this exercise. What would be something that Biden did that we would go, okay, that was well done.
That was good.
And that was good for the future of the country.
No. Okay. Got
we
anything?
tried. What's next?
You made a comment about what's going on the circle.
Oh yeah, the destruction of the monument.
Destruction,
yes.
Construction, whatever you want to call it. And here's a phone call about that.
Yeah, you were talking about the steps there on the monument where they're tearing it and rebuilding or putting in some new, replacing stuff. Yeah, there's no concrete on that. That whole thing is limestone, good old Indiana limestone, except for the sidewalk on the perimeter of the inner circle. That's all limestone, whole thing. And as far as Washington Street, that's going to get even worse messed up because there's stupid purple or turquoise or polka dot, bus line coming up here, just like they messed up 38th Street. Now Washington Street's going to be even worse.
It's going to be that way for a year now. I wonder if that has something to do with it, that they have to somehow make the infrastructure strong enough for heavier weight.
I don't know.
For the buses?
Sometimes we just do things to do them.
Okay.
The government said it must happen.
IU moved the graduation to accommodate for the football game. And I had made a comment. It just shows you that they've got all these graduates, and they rescheduled the graduation for the IU Notre Dame game. How big of a part football plays, not only in the branding of schools, but also financially. And somebody wanted to call and talk about college sports.
Hey, Kendall. Hey, Casey. This is Michael in Carmel. I think college sports are totally corrupt today, so I'm with Rod on that. But I have some connections to the University of Texas, and this is probably 15 or 20 years ago. The football coach was making $8 million a year. The UT president was making $800,000 a year. And so some reporter stuck a microphone in the president's face and said, "Do you think the coach is worth 10 times you?" The president goes, "Boy, we netted $88 million off the football program. Boy, that's income minus expenses, including his contract. We netted $88 million. I don't think I could do that myself, but the coach did. And it was so great to hear that Southern Texas accent and that screw you attitude, this little punk. So Texas football, again, this is 20 years ago when they won the national championship. They netted $88 million.
Yeah, that's why they place such importance on these programs. All right, one last quick phone call. In this one, you must have said something not very flattering about Todd Young.
That doesn't sound like me.
Somebody wanted to call and make a comment.
Just heard Rob being on Todd Young again. Sounds like with good reason. You're not happy with the job he's done. After you get done being the chairman of the state Republican Party, run against him next time. Smoke him. Do it better. Have a good day.
Boy, you've got a lot on your plate.
I've got to do all of these things.
You got to do the radio show.
Run Micah's office, this radio show, the Republican Party, running against Todd Young.
Yeah.
It's
you're a busy guy.
Absolutely.
Oh, and keep up with the sports betting podcast.
That's right. Degenerates Next Door.
Hammer's up next on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show 3:06 this afternoon. We're keeping our eye on the weather. We could have a squall. All that and the biggest stories of the day. 93 WIBC.
Hey, holiday heroes. It's a special time of year at Shane Company. As a family business for 4 generations, we know firsthand that fine jewelry is the gift that says it all. From the engagement ring that says, "You're the one," to the diamond tennis bracelet that says, "Thank you for being you." We have the widest selection of fine jewelry gifts, in stock and ready to take home. Come pick out a pair of hand-matched diamond stud earrings or a necklace with a colorful gemstone. Check out our new Bloom collection, one of owner Tom Shane's favorites this year, featuring stunning sapphires, emeralds, or rubies. At Shane Company, every gift and every price range is crafted to our high-quality standards. We have jewelers working in every store to bring your gifts to life, making sure rings fit just right, setting center stones and engagement rings by hand, and engraving your pieces to make your gifts even more special. Your gifts will always be protected with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. Tired of turning up the heater this winter? The condensation and chilly drafts coming through your old windows? You need new ones. And now during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off all style windows with a bonus 10% off. Plus, you could get 0 interest for 6 years. Just imagine what you could do with all those savings. Hurry, sale ends December 31st, so schedule your fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90Nation or visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is making its way back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 19th with an all-new show, The Lost Christmas Eve Tour. For tickets and more information, head to WIBC.com.
Joining us from the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel show, Jason Hammer in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. There is a new college football betting podcast out from Rob and I, the Degenerates Next Door, brought to you by StatFactory.io, your one-stop shop for all things lines and statistics for these NFL games, NBA games. It's kind of a slow rollout, but college football's coming, college basketball's coming, and it's super cheap. So check it out.
It's free for 7 days.
Right.
You just go to statfactory.io. It'll change the way you bet on sports. If you're into sports betting at all, it's free for 7 days. You got absolutely nothing to lose. Statfactory.io.
So we are in this latest podcast that's available wherever you get your podcast, talking about the college football playoff. So our official plays won't be until next week because there's a long time between now and these games. These lines could change dramatically. You never know when somebody might get arrested, get sick, be inactive. So we're going to wait to make official plays, but we kind of tease it a little bit in this latest podcast. So, Casey, we did something earlier in the year, college football related. We played a round of Know Your College Fight songs.
Right.
I feel like with these college football teams here, Notre Dame has the most iconic fight song.
I would agree.
Even outside of the playoff, people would say Notre Dame's is probably the most known fight song. So we're going to play a special playoff edition of Know Your College Fight songs.
Okay.
Here in just a moment, Kev is going to play a fight song from a team that is currently in the college football playoff.
Got it.
Your job is to see how many you can get out of 6. Now, Rob, the over-under is set at 3.5. Notre Dame is not one of these.
Oh, Notre Dame's out. I thought we were giving her a freebie.
Yeah, that's the only one I would know.
I'm going under.
Under 3.5.
Yeah, sorry, Casey.
All
I
right.
thought you'd get a freebie.
No,
I think you can get 3.
And at any point, you can use one lifeline to ask either Rob or Kevin.
Okay.
Okay? And if, I'll give you one hint, too, okay? Because some of these are tough.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Number 1.
Is that Indiana?
That is not Indiana.
Boy.
That would be Ohio State.
Yeah, that was.
I was thinking
could
that.
have called me. I would have had that one for you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Ohio State University. All right, 0 for 1.
Okay.
Here we go. Know Your College Fight Songs Playoff Edition.
This is bad.
Number 2.
All right, I'm going to phone a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to get one right. Rob?
Kev, you want to get in on this with me? Got any thoughts?
Well, I've got the answers right in front of me.
Well, that's my friend.
Give me the answer.
It's Texas.
Oh,
yeah, see?
That was Texas, Hammer.
Yes, okay.
Oh, how do you? Oh, he's labeled which ones to play. I got you. Oh,
so your lifeline is burned. Okay.
But
now,
I have one
you
right.
only have one hint left. There's one where I can give you a hint.
Okay.
So you got one right though. You got 3 more right.
Right. Exactly.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Number 3. get this right.
Indiana.
Yes!
There we go. Okay.
Thank you.
Is that your hint?
I redeemed myself on that one.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like I need to apologize to every Hoosier.
But when you said the first one was Indiana, I thought, oh no.
Yeah.
All right. We got 2 with an asterisk by it.
Okay.
Here comes number 4.
Yeah. You love going to this place. I do too. Tennessee.
Yeah. There we
Yeah.
go. All right.
Okay,
so we got 3.
3 with an asterisk.
Right. You got to get one more out of these last 2 to cash the over.
Okay.
Rob, you've bet the under, so you need her to miss these last 2.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Do I get a hint?
Wasn't Jesus get this right, the hint on the other one?
No, that was just a
Okay.
exclamation from him.
Here's a hint.
Yeah.
This campus gave Bluto a degree.
Gave Bluto a degree. What? This campus gave Bluto a
You understand
degree.
what I'm saying, right, Rob?
Oh boy.
What character will you find Bluto in? What movie?
Yeah, it's Animal House.
Where was it filmed?
Wasn't it filmed? Oh, is it Oregon?
Oregon! There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you were going to be walking her through each one of these. I would have bet the over.
All right. Last one, number 6. The cesspool of the South.
Georgia.
There you go. I had to throw that part in. Sorry.
All right, Rob lost the bet.
Well, that's sort of how I've lost all my other bets. Remember the face mask in the end zone for that Rams and Vikings game? You were the refs. You.
I was the guy that dove down at the 1-yard line. I was the Panthers kicker that missed the extra point this weekend.
Oh, boy. You got done dirty big time on those NFL games.
You look at some of my losses this year. We could do a whole show on my bad beats. It's unreal.
Well, we do have a segment called Who's Screwing Me Now?
Right. That's right. Coming up this afternoon, Rick Snyder, FOP president, will join us. We've got Tony Kennett. Marcus Bailey will give us the update on the weather, and we're going to have a good time.
Good stuff, Hammer. Thank you. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9379. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9379. That's 800-575-9379. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first. And then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Local honest plumbers, it's true. Hope is a plumber for me and you.
Call Hope Plumbing today at 317-641-HOPE. That's 317-641-HOPE. Or online at hopeplumbing.com.
She's too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers. When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Coming up in 2 minutes, be ready for a messy commute this afternoon. Plus, another police chase early this morning that involved a teenager and some guns, and the push to keep a big college football game here in Indianapolis. That and more coming up. From the Technology Recycler Studios, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
An apology to Gold Star families. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. From Secretary of State Anthony Blinken moments ago at a House hearing probing the 2021 U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan that included a terror attack killing 13 American troops.
And I deeply regret that we did not do more and could not do more to protect them. And to those families who are here with us today, you're in my thoughts.
Republican Congressman Michael McCall accused Blinken of ignoring threats at the time as the Taliban retook control of the country.
Mr. Secretary, to preserve optics, you sacrificed the safety and security of our service members, diplomats, citizens, and allies.
But Blinken insists the withdrawal was the right thing to do.
American troops are no longer fighting and dying in Afghanistan. The American people are safer and more secure.
Now, that hearing was interrupted a few times by pro-Palestinian protesters.
Your father! I don't know how. You can sleep at night when you're killing so many kids.
Claiming Israel's committing genocide in Gaza, they were all quickly escorted out. Later today, Secretary of State Blinken will travel to Jordan for talks about Syria's future after opposition rebels took over control of that country. New Jersey's governor's meeting with state lawmakers and mayors this morning, giving them updates on the big mysterious drones flying over the state since mid-November. Murphy's already said the drones are not public safety threats. State Senator Douglas Steinhardt tells Fox.
Dismissing this drone activity and its daily drone activity as nothing or no threat to me without some explanation, detailed explanation as to how they arrived at that conclusion is just, it's irresponsible and dangerous.
A wildfire still burning out of control in Malibu, California, where thousands of people evacuated. More might have to. This man in Malibu says as he left,
every direction you look, surrounded by fire. I thought I was going to have to drive through a ring of fire just to get out of here.
The flames have scorched nearly 4,000 acres. 7 homes have burned down around Malibu, 8 more damaged. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
When you can expect snow squalls. It's cloudy and 32 downtown. Some snow already starting to show up on radar. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Freezing temperatures overnight will make travel difficult Thursday morning. Ryan Hedrick reports.
The good news about Wednesday's storm is that it won't last long. Mike Ryan from the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says you'll want to watch out for bridges and overpasses as temperatures drop into the teens.
And we're not going to see much recovery as we go through the day. Highs are probably only going to be in the 20s, and we may even see some additional light snow Thursday late afternoon into the evening with a very weak system passing through.
He says if you do see snow, you'll probably see it to the north of the Indianapolis metro area. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Drugs and guns turned up after a state police chase that ended this morning on the east side. Sergeant John Perrine talks about why some people break the law and ignore police orders.
Somebody making a decision to not comply with police and to flee is not our decision. And so I can't answer the why they are doing that, but we also can't just sit back and let criminals We can't just let them run away.
2 people were in the car, including a 15-year-old. Both were taken to the hospital. She gave her brother meth, and he ended up dead. That is Kirsty Pertlebaugh, who is in a jail cell in Monroe County and charged with drug dealing, resulting in death. Turns out that the meth that police say that she gave to her brother, Brian O'Bannon, well, it was laced with fentanyl. Next year, the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo will just be the Fort Wayne Zoo. Operators of the zoo say that they're changing the name in order to be more inclusive. The Big Ten football championship game is staying in Indianapolis through 2028, but Indiana Sports Corps President Patrick Talty says cities like LA and Las Vegas are trying to get it.
Obviously, Vegas has a lot of hotel rooms. They have a lot going on. They have been very vocal in the last few years of going after our events.
Talking to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Kurt Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
One of the joys of working with Radio 1 has been that they actually listen.
How can a partnership with WIBC serve your business?
My name's Jake Stamper. I'm the president and CEO of Sagacity Consulting, a full-service marketing and advertising firm.
Communication.
I choose to work with Radio 1 because I have such respect for their ability to achieve a goal. We have served manufacturers to not-for-profits to retail, and the privilege that we have in working with Radio 1 is that they listen to the problems that we're trying to solve or the goals that we want to achieve, which each one of those very vast clients.
Deliver your message to the audience that matters.
My clients have been extraordinarily happy over the last 20 years with the results produced by Radio 1.
Text business to 71007 to take your advertising to the next level.
Radio 1 does a phenomenal job at connecting with the community on every level.
Get results with WIBC.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's Get Your Sparkle On jewelry store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 11th. It's 5 minutes after 11. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. And before the segment, I tell Rob, hey, these are the things we're talking about, but I know your face is buried deep in that computer. What are you working on? You've been asking me who I want to pay money to see or who I'd rather see out of all of these people.
Oh, now you want to take an interest in what I'm doing.
Well, because you keep, do I want to see
Well,
Mario Lopez?
You know how the internet rabbit hole works. Like you're looking at one thing and then you end up in another thing and then you end up in another thing. And somehow I ended up that in April, there's this big event in Huntsville, Georgia at the Huntsville, the Von Braun Center in Huntsville, Alabama. I'm sorry. And it's the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. And I was just looking at the list of people that are going to be there. And I was fascinated that people are paying money to meet these people. And I was pondering how much money people would pay to meet these people. And like, okay, so for example, Brian Austin Green. Brian Austin Green of 90210 is on the list of people that's going to be there. Well, other
Ian
than that,
Zoring was busy?
Other than, what's that?
I said Ian Zoring was busy.
Well, right. I don't say Elizabeth Berkley, Mario Lopez, that's Saved by the Bell. Okay, so my question is, because Brian Austin Green is only known for 90210 and he had relations with Megan Fox. Like those are Brian Austin Green's claims to fame, right? Those two things. And when he was with Megan Fox, everybody was like, really? Like that's who you're going with? The Transformer girl? And that's really? We can't beat that guy? I mean, come on, right? And so I was wondering, what does it cost? Because I don't have the cost here, the pictures or autographs or whatever. What does it cost? What is the market bearing out to meet Brian Austin Green?
Right. It's probably a ticketed event. So
it is.
So you just buy a ticket to the thing.
No, you got to pay to get in, and then I think you pay to get in. I'm guessing they got vendors or whatever.
Right.
And then you pay to get a photo or an autograph with these people.
Yeah, it's probably like those comic book things or, a show where you stand in line forever.
So I'm pondering.
And then another $5-10 to get the autograph.
Because Tori Spelling is on the list too. When is the last time she did anything? What is other than being Aaron Spelling's daughter and on 90210, what is she famous for? So what is the going rate for that? Mario Lopez, he still does a bunch of stuff. At least he's still actively famous. But then I got into this long list of people that they got at this event, and a bunch of these people are voice artists for famous cartoon shows like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Ghostbusters. And so then it got me down the rabbit hole of what would people pay for some person you've never actually seen?
Right, you don't even know their face.
You know
their
from voice, yeah. So like Neil Ross, he was in the Ghostbusters, the Transformers, a whole bunch of these. He's a super famous voice artist. You would definitely know him if you heard his voice, Garfield, etc. But you wouldn't know him. If Neil Ross walked past you at a Burger King, you would have no idea who it is.
No.
What does an autograph go or a picture?
For somebody like that.
And if you get a picture with Neil Ross, it's not like if you hang it up in your office, people are going to go like, ooh, Neil Ross.
Who's that?
At least if you got a picture with Brian Austin Green, they'd be like, that's the dude from 90210.
Sure.
I mean, Weird Al's on the list here. I mean, it's a lot of B list. Priscilla Presley.
Okay.
Other than you had relations with Elvis Presley and you were in the Naked Gun movies, which you were pretty good in. At this point, who hasn't already met Priscilla Presley that would want to meet Priscilla Presley?
Right, exactly. That's interesting. That's a eclectic mix of people.
So thus, before you were rudely insulting me for reading this list of people, which I'm getting a good segment out of, by the way, it spawned the question to you, is there any, and I think I've asked you this before, and I asked Kevin this, is there anybody you'd pay to meet in this fashion? Not like you want to meet and hang out with Trump, we've talked about this, but at an autograph signing where you get essentially 1 minute, it's the photo, we've all seen it, the photo, hey, what's your name? Casey? Casey, where are you from? Indianapolis? Oh, very nice to meet you. Cheers. Oh, do I make this out too, Casey? Like you get 1 minute. Is there any person you would pay to have that experience
No,
with?
not on that list for sure.
Well, no, I'm saying
don't think
anybody,
so.
Casey.
I don't
anybody.
think so. I don't think so.
Kevin, any person you would pay to meet and get an autographed photo of?
I don't know if this would count, but I would maybe want to meet the cast from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So if Glenn Howerton, he plays Dennis, or Charlie Day, who plays Charlie, or Danny DeVito,
or Rob McElhenney.
Right, you would maybe pay to meet them individually.
Now I don't think I'd pay over like 100.
100 a piece, or 100 for the whole cast?
For the whole cast.
Yeah, you're not getting that. That's not happening. You're not meeting those guys.
Yeah, how much are they paying?
I don't know. That's what they don't have any of the prices listed here.
Would you pay? You wouldn't pay.
No, there's no living person that I haven't met that I would be like jazzed up about meeting.
Right.
There might be somebody that'd be like, it would be cool to talk to, but there's no living person that I haven't already met that I would be jazzed up about.
It'd be a lot better if you just met these people at a bar and just had a conversation and hung out with them.
Okay, so here's an example, and this is why that's a loaded question. Because if you were like, would I like to meet Jackson Brown? Yes, that would be freaking cool to ask him about Laurel Canyon and writing all those songs. But realistically, that's not going to happen. Would I pay money at an autograph signing to meet Jackson Brown? No. So it depends on how the question is phrased. In terms of this, where you get at these Comic-Con things, no, there's nobody I would pay money to meet.
Yeah. Out of that list of people going to that,
I'm a celebrity.
Is there somebody that you would want to meet for free? Like if they were there, you'd be like, oh yeah, cool.
Oh, out of people that are going?
Like, who would you choose to meet on that list?
Well, Weird Al would be fun. Hammer would be jealous of that,
that'd be
and
a good
I could
one.
rub that in his face. That would probably be about... I mean, what am I going to talk to Brian Austin Green about? I mean, I know what I'd like to talk to Brian Austin Green about.
Right.
But realistically, what am I going to talk to Brian Austin Green about?
Yeah.
What do I have in common with Mario Lopez? Hey, AC! I mean, come on.
There's nobody on that list that does anything for me that I would go out of my way.
So
I certainly wouldn't travel down to Huntsville.
So we're not going to Huntsville, Alabama, the Von Braun Center.
If I were going to Huntsville, Alabama, I'd rather spend time at the rest stop that has the rocket than hang out with those people.
Ernie Hudson, he's from Ghostbusters. He's going to be there. Anyway, I'm sure there's more pressing things to get to. Thank you for trying to humiliate me in front of our audience because I was just fascinated with these people that are going to be there and what people are paying to meet them.
Okay, did you see Kathy Hochul from New York, governor of New York? She came out and she said that she's going to be passing out $300 to $500 to families who are struggling to afford groceries and other things.
What does that mean? She's going to be passing it out? Like, is she the Black Hand from the Godfather, or what does this mean?
She's being Santa Claus. Listen to this. It's
in my budget next month. They will send you a check to buy your groceries for a month or whatever you want to spend it on. And if you're an individual earning up to $150,000 a year, it's $300. What does that look like?
What is this, real life?
She's got a big check in front of her.
What was the first standard? Do we know what the first standard to get the 500 is? Because there's tiers. Do we know what the standard was to get the $500?
It was, well, less than $100,000.
Less than $100,000.
Yeah.
She will send you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is not if you live in New York City. You could live in rural New York, and they will send you $500.
Her approval ratings are in the toilet, by the way. 60% of people don't want to reelect her. She's got a very low favorability rating. It's almost like she's trying to just buy people off. But here's the thing. She didn't get the message because according to Joe Biden, the economy is strong right now.
Next month, my administration will end and a new administration will begin. Most economists agree the new administration is going to inherit a fairly strong economy, at least at the moment. An economy going through fundamental transformation that's laid out a stronger foundation and a sustainable, broad-based, highly productive growth. And it's my profound hope that the new administration will preserve and build on this progress.
Okay, now let's be clear on specific on a couple things. They're doing this, buried in this. They're doing this because she is claiming that the state has collected so much tax revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So
they budgeted wrong.
On one hand, I guess we laugh about, oh, she's just going to hand it back to you based on your income, which is ridiculous. If you paid taxes, you should get your money back. It shouldn't be based on your income, some arbitrary thing on income level. That's what I was chuckling about. But unlike here, let's compare and contrast what they did here when they had extra money. They spent it.
Yeah.
They spent it. So for those of you who have not been longtime listeners of the show, we thank you for being here, being a part of the #1 rated radio show in central Indiana. In Indiana had a law under Mitch Daniels that was enacted that said if we collect a certain amount of tax revenue above it's a $2 billion, or was a $2 billion threshold. If we collect above $2 billion, we don't need that money in reserves. We're fine. We're going to send that money automatically. It triggers an automatic tax refund back to the taxpayers. After Daniels got out of office, I think they did do that once under Daniels, the Republicans got really good at spending right to the number. Became an art where they would project and spend almost right to that number so they never have to trigger the refund. During COVID, though, because so much federal money came in, they couldn't spend it fast enough, and it triggered a refund to the citizens. You may recall getting money back from the state in 2021, I believe it was. Well, the Republicans, because they hate giving you your money back, they hate when you have buying power, they hate when you're not dependent upon them, went ballistic over that and the amount of revenue that was in the reserves, and they literally altered the state law to change that if there was between $2.5 billion and $5 billion in the reserves, you wouldn't get that. And what do you know, Casey? You know who won out on that? They spent it right to that number on one-time things, and you now are getting nothing.
Right.
These people that run the state are evil. They're to do that to regular people, to take more money from them than you need, and then deliberately spend the money, change the law, by the way, and then spend to that exact number to ensure you don't give people their money back. You're an evil person. It's not that you're misguided. It's not that I disagree with you politically. You are an evil, rotten, terrible person.
It sounds very generous what Kathy Hochul is doing, but sending back their own money. That's the people's money already, and she's trying to take credit for it. But how about you run your state a little bit more efficiently? You wouldn't have to hand out that money, and then that free money is just going to cost even more in inflation later. But what about the contradiction between what she's saying is that people are struggling to afford groceries and other necessities, so we're sending you back some of this money, and then Joe Biden stands up and he says, you know what? We're going to preserve this fairly strong economy. It's going through a fundamental transformation.
Do you think...
Which message is it?
If I got $500, could I get the autographs of Mario Lopez, Elizabeth Berkley, Brian Austin Green, and Tori Spelling?
I bet you could.
Do you think they're no more than 120, average of 125 a piece?
Yeah, I think you could. You should totally plan this trip. Head down to Huntsville. It's on the northern side of Alabama.
Have you been there?
Driven through many times. It'll take you about 6.5 hours to get there.
That's a really long way to go to meet Mario Lopez.
That is a long way to go. Now, if he were at what's the thing here that they have?
Comic-Con?
Comic-Con. Maybe he'd be but then you got to buy a thing to get into this thing too, and that's what interest would I have with all the Dungeons and Dragon people? I would have no interest in that.
It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Syria's longtime leader, his regime.
Game over.
93 WIBC.
The toppling of Syrian president and dictator Bashar al-Assad.
Hear the news.
Snow is expected Wednesday.
Afternoon, early evening impact the evening rush hour.
Another news update is minutes away.
Civil case against former Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill has been dismissed. Both parties agreed to the dismissal. 5 losses in the last 6 games for the Pacers.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
I've tried just about everything for my ED. Big name brands, awkward appointments, the whole deal. Nothing felt right for my lifestyle until I found Hardee's from Zelty. Pre-planning, waiting an hour, it took all the fun out of dating. But Hardee's changed everything. These dissolve fast, working in as little as 15 minutes and last up to 36 hours. Plus, they cost up to 90% less than big name brands with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis to keep me going strong. No appointments, no hassle, and completely discreet. That's right. Zelty is 100% online with fast, free shipping. Plus, powerful results that cost around 90% less. For a single guy like me, Hardee's made dating fun again. Text TERM to 200-300 to see if you qualify for fast-acting, long-lasting ED medication. Get your free medical review now. Text the word TERM to 200-300. That's TERM to 200-300. Don't wait. Text now. Hardee's from Zelty. TERM to 200-300. TERM to 200-300.
Well, unfortunately, if you're single or widowed woman, the stats aren't in your favor. You run a far greater risk of running out of money in retirement than any man or married couple. So you can discover the strategies that could ensure you never run out of money in retirement with Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. We know and trust Bill, and you can too. Trust me, the last thing you want is to be 80 years old, full of life and flat broke.
And look, Bill Demery understands all the different options you have to generate income in retirement. And he's helped thousands of people, including Nige and myself. So we're not retired yet, but we're laying the groundwork to have our money taken care of. And that is why you should set up a free chat with Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. 317-648-5120.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Don't miss the holiday concert experience of the season. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Lost Christmas Eve. December 19th, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster. An awe-inspiring blend of rock, classical, and holiday music for the entire family. Don't miss Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
See the diamonds at Pierce Jewelers. Diamond earrings, diamond pendants, diamond rings, and diamond bracelets. They shop the world to bring you the best. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
But just a look at that girl with the lights coming up in her eyes.
Happy birthday to the state of Indiana. 208.
We made it.
Yeah. Indiana became the 19th state to join the Union on December 11th, 1816. The Indiana General Assembly established Indiana Day in 1925. So,
did you know the original Indiana
birthday.
Territory included Illinois? The original, what was known as the Indiana Territory, also included what would become the state of Illinois in it.
I wonder why they gave up the land.
I don't know.
Something happened.
Society's worse off because we did.
Have you heard about what's going on in New Jersey with these drones?
Booms,
the drones?
Yeah, the loud noises that they're creating, like the disruptions that they're creating.
New Jersey State Senator, he called for a limited state of emergency, banning all drone usage until they can find out what these recent drone sightings are.
So wait, they don't have any idea why there's just drones flying around causing mass hysteria?
Yep, they've been spotted flying at night, and a lot of different, communities and counties are reporting this. It's been going on since before Thanksgiving, and they're investigating it. Local law enforcement, also FBI, are on it, and the governor says that the drones are very sophisticated. The minute you get your eyes on them, they go dark.
Okay, so what is the rule with flying a drone? Like, I know there's little kids or whatever, they get them as gifts, and obviously realtors use them to take pictures of houses. There has to be some sort of regulation around. You can't just take a giant drone and fly it up into the sky.
There is. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I know of people who have worked at the TV station that I used to work at are now licensed to fly the drones for news footage, and they're bigger. And I'm not sure if it's an
you could
FAA license you need to have.
run into it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, why don't they just shoot it out of the sky?
Well,
then we'd see what it was. There's got to be a safe way to do that, right? What could go wrong?
Well, yeah, just go grab it. But they're avoiding some radar detection. There's just gaps in the airspace now. And is it being exploited? Are American safety at risk? Is this like the spy balloon that flew over? What's going on?
If a large drone was flying over your house, wouldn't you be kind of freaked out?
Yes, very much so. Especially if it didn't drop down some groceries or something for me. Be like, oh, that's not the Walmart we ordered?
Yeah.
What is that?
I mean, if if anything was flying over my house, I would be a little concerned. But I get, like, there's a kid on our street. He has a drone, and I see him fly it every so often, and I'm none too concerned that he's, plotting crimes or misdeeds against humanity. But yeah, if there was some mantis-looking like presence hovering over your place of residence, yeah, you'd get a little unnerved.
So Karine Jean-Pierre was asked about it, and she gave a non-answer, of course.
There have been repeated drone sightings in the Northeast, especially in New Jersey. These are not small drones, some of them pretty large. They're flying at low altitudes, they're flying in flocks. Has the president been briefed on this situation?
So we are certainly aware, the president is aware. So we're closely tracking the activity and coordinating closely with relevant agency, including DHS and FBI, to continue to investigate these incidents. Don't have anything beyond that to share. Obviously, this is something that DHS and FBI are tracking very, very closely, and so I would have to refer you to them directly, but aware. Keeping an eye out and looking into the incidents that you just mentioned.
It's very much, it just reminds me of the balloon that flew across the country. We're going to keep an eye on it.
They never seem to have answers for things. They never seem to be able to tell you what's flying in the sky and why.
They never seem to want to give you an answer, do they?
All right.
These are being reported as large with lights, and one person said that there were 30 to 50 of them flying over his house at one point.
All right, Casey, when we come back, OnlyFans has reached a new level of ridiculous, and I'm going to, we have to talk about this. Somebody did something that is just so beyond ridiculous, and we as a society are totally to blame for this, and it should be a giant red flag to every single human. Pipe down, Kevin. It's not that exciting.
I'm not taking blame for this person's actions, but I'm sure you'll try and put it on me. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Downtown Indy, dressed in holiday style and glowing with bright lights and festive sights all season long. Gather with friends on Monument Circle to enjoy stunning holiday lighting and audio-visual presentations every night of the week. Create new memories while dining at award-winning restaurants just steps from your favorite attractions, sporting events, and performances. Come winter wander in downtown Indy. Come for an event, stay for a holiday experience. Visit IndyWonderland.com for all the details, including curated downtown holiday itineraries. That's IndyWonderland.com.
Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. This holiday season, save $30 on the GTA 26 handheld garden pruner. Now just $149.99. Check off a gift from the top of their wish list and make trimming tree limbs a breeze with a lightweight design and 4-inch cutting bar. Visit your local steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $179.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They say there's forensic evidence. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Police say fingerprints found at the scene where United Healthcare's CEO was shot to death on a New York City street last week match the suspects. That's according to multiple reports. This is the first forensic match that investigators say ties suspect Luigi Mangione to the scene where Brian Thompson was killed. A blitz of snowfall. That's what you can expect this afternoon while you're on your way home from work. Snow squalls expected to bring thick, heavy, and short bursts of snow.
I think accumulation in general is going to probably be a half inch or less. We may see a few locations that approach an inch. Probably the greatest impact is going to be more across the northern part of the state.
Mike Ryan with the National Weather Service. Temperatures dip big time by tomorrow, some places in the single digits. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Express the heartwarming message that says love is about being together. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be the symbol that says I love you. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Universal Windows Direct, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Call today because, have you noticed it's getting cold again? And cold out there means it could be cold in your home if you don't have the right windows. Now, when you call today, Universal Windows Direct, 317-659-7574. For every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Buy 20, get 20. There is no limit. And on top of that, you can get 0% financing for 60 months. It's 5 years. Now, some restrictions apply. So to get all the information, you got to call Universal Windows Direct today, 317-659-7574. And in the meantime, if you'd like to see some of their work, how your house might look, and feel a whole lot warmer, head to their website, uwd.com, uwd.com, and 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
Emmer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Wait. Is that a thing?
Yes, that's what it's called.
It's not STDs anymore?
No, they're called STIs.
When did that change?
I don't know, in the past 5-10 years.
Why did it change?
I don't know. It's just now.
Well, you knew enough to know it changed. Clearly, you'd been doing research.
Because I'm informed. I try to stay informed on things.
How did you find this out, that it's not called... So during the break, Casey and Kevin are having some sort of just passionate, heated debate.
I knew it was STI, and I asked Kevin, what does the I stand for? Is it illness? And he came back with, no, it's infection.
Right.
Yeah, sexually transmitted infections.
And I don't listen...
Instead of disease.
Well, and this coming, I was not listening, as usual, to the rest of what you guys were saying, but this caught my attention. Why? Why? How did you two get on this spirited debate?
Because of what you want to talk about, this woman.
Well, you always put it on me.
And this stunt
always
that
somehow
she
my
did.
fault.
But it does make more sense that it would be called a sexually transmitted infection versus disease, because it's not always a disease. A disease implies that it's lifelong and non-curable in many cases, where infection...
Okay,
take the proper medicine.
So we got to talk about this OnlyFans woman, and it's all over Twitter. Like, everybody are posting these videos, and it's really the video that she posted after the event itself that people are commenting on. So Lily Phillips, I think, is this woman's name. I think she's British, English. I don't know, whatever. I don't think she's from America.
Okay.
But she is big on the OnlyFans, and we've talked about before how the OnlyFans has really sort of supplanted the adult film world, right? Like, it used to be you'd have to go through you wanted to be an adult film star, you got to go through one of the major video producers, etc. I don't know anymore. At one point I was pretty up on how it all worked. But the point is, now you can do it yourself. It's like anything else. You can be your own entrepreneur.
Correct.
And this OnlyFans, what you pay, is it a subscription to the person? Like, they set a rate. You pay me $10 a month and you can see my content.
Yeah,
I believe
subscription-based.
isn't it subscription to get on OnlyFans, and then if you want individual favors from individual creators,
so like
you pay more to them.
So like, you can see, is my understanding, you can see
look
like, for a price what everybody else can see, and then you can have, that's how that Sophie Rain chick had made all that money, individual chat sessions or whatever.
Yeah, there's like tiers to it, I think, where it's like, you
so the
pay
point
more.
is, this broad,
they won't let me. The computer here at work, shocker, has blocked me.
Earlier, Casey was
from
like,
digging into this.
This is great. Earlier, Casey's like, Kevin, can you contact IT? For some reason, I'm getting a virus notification.
I wonder why. Oh no!
So
it's all for the job,
so
people.
So she's on this OnlyFans, and popular, I don't know, whatever. But she decides, and this made national news. I'd seen a bunch of legitimate publications, that she was going to engage in interpersonal relations with 100 men in one day. That was her big national news thing.
Yep.
And then she apparently did that thing.
She achieved her goal.
She engaged in interpersonal relations with 100 men in one day. And then after, could they film all this, or I guess it's content for her site, whatever.
Sure.
So they filmed this, and then after the event itself, they have continued to film her meeting with, I don't know if this is a friend or a manager or what, but he's attempting to talk to her like a normal person and ask her about the event itself. And she is basically having a complete meltdown on camera, talking to this person being filmed. And a lot of the people who are posting these various clips are commenting about this, saying, you can see the realization of what this woman actually did and how it is actually hitting her as a human being, and how there's no going back from this, is hitting her in real time. And this is fascinating because you can actually see her soul escaping her body in real time as the magnitude of what she did is hitting her.
Well, yeah, that's it exactly. FAFO. And she's finding out.
Right.
It's the consequence of her own actions.
And so I've been reading a variety of commentaries on this, and one person made a good point. They said, and they didn't say it exactly like this, but I'm expanding upon what they posted, which is, we have talked about on this show about how pornography, the porn world, social media allows people to escape from reality. Like, so much of social media now is look at the filter thing. There's so many people who look nothing like the pictures that they post on the Instagram or whatever. And we've talked about, like, you meet people in person. How do you explain that?
Right.
That you don't actually look that way. But social media, which I guess I would include OnlyFans as a part of that, has allowed people to escape from the reality of their existence. And so on the user end, you are essentially, whether it's pornography or certain types of social media, you are fulfilling your own fantasy by engaging with these people. But what hasn't been talked about is how, while the user of that is escaping through this fantasy that is doing damage to them, the actual, for lack of a better term, entrepreneur, I guess is what we would call these OnlyFans
business
people.
person,
Content creator.
Yeah.
They are now being sucked into this vortex as well, where this person is getting so much attention from men on social media that in her world, okay, for my next trick, for my next stunt, for my next thing to get more attention, I will do this ridiculous thing without processing any sort of ramification of what might happen by doing
without
that.
thinking it through, because now she has to live with what she's done, and it's just perpetuating a myth of empowerment through exploitation. That's what it is. I mean, it's a cry almost for validation. She's made nearly 2 million, now it's pounds, you're right, she is British, 2 million pounds off of doing this. But also think about the math on this. It was 101 men in one day.
That's correct. And there was apparently a timer on it too. One of the interviews.
You're talking 14 minutes per gentleman.
No, apparently, and this is what's fascinating. And during her meltdown, she was talking about, apparently they put a time limit on it of like 3 to 5 minutes, and the guys were upset that she was not going as long as they had advertised or something. I don't know. But the point is, they asked her at one point, they said, okay, so like, what are your memories of this? And she goes, I only remember like maybe 10 people. So in her mind, you're seeing, I've had this, what is supposed to be a special, intimate encounter for most people, and there's 90 or 91 people that I have no recollection of, that I know they have a recollection of it, probably.
A quick recollection.
But I have no recollection of this thing. And so my point on all of this is, we always have been focusing on the user end of this, but now you're seeing this person, I would say foolishly, but I think it's now becoming a fascinating examination into the psyche of the people who work in this field. They've bought into the fantasy too. They've bought into it too, and it's now not only burning the patron, it's burning the creator.
Well, right, because you would have to be robotic. You'd have to shut any emotion off to put yourself through that. There's this tweet going around. It's had over 7 million views and is very critical of OnlyFans, saying that it's putting all this pressure on women. It's turning them into plastic dolls. It exploits them just for content creation. But here's the thing. It's being reported that this same woman who is crying, woe is me, what have I done, is now planning to engage with 1,000 men in a day.
So one of the there's all these people that are trying to do examinations of this interview. This interview is fascinating, and I believe it's a clean interview. I'm not going to tell you it definitely is, but it appears all the clips that she's fully clothed and at least seeming somewhat professional. And if you'd like to see it and get into the psyche yourself, you can view it. It's all over Twitter. Lily Phillips is her name. One of the examinations that I've seen of this interview is somebody said, clearly this is a person in desperate need of help, that she has this mental breakdown over the 100 men, and then her initial immediate response is, now let's go
again
for 1,000.
Line them up again.
They said this is a person crying out for help in real time, and nobody is helping her because she's a cash cow. She is. People are clearly making money off her, because if anybody loves her or cares about her, they'd be like, you must stop and seek immediate help.
Well, clearly, I mean, it's got to be dehumanizing to her, because the men who are participating are just, it's a numbers game, right? They don't care. They just want to be part of this process.
I was talking with Kevin off the break, because when I was in college, there became a period of time where there was a genre of famous adult film stars will go to college campuses, or known adult film stars will go to college campuses, and there was literally like a sign-up sheet, because the whole thing was they're going to be intimate with all of these college dudes, right? And there were videos that were centered around that. And I remember thinking at the time, those guys are probably going to regret that someday. Like, when you're 19 or 20 or 21, that seems fun and cool. But then you're forever going to have to explain to your partner that you participated in a legitimate adult film, and you're forever on that thing. And I wondered about that too. Obviously this is a way bigger step than that, but this stuff's been going on forever, and I just think the takeaway that's fascinating to me is the creator has been sucked into it now. The creator now is struggling to separate the fantasy from the reality, and they are the fantasy.
Well, they asked her if she was concerned about HIV or any STI, and her response was, "Oh, I didn't even think about that." Clearly, all she's seeing is dollar signs.
So we will pivot from Lily Phillips to Diego Morales when we come back. Abdul is going to join us with the latest drama on the Secretary of State.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
We really like prima donnas here in this country, so we elected a bunch to the United States Senate. We're going to talk about their latest drama on the Tony Kinnacast. 7 p.m. See you there.
Let's talk about something that's on everyone's mind, staying safe online. From text scams to data leaks, we've all heard the horror stories. But here's the good news. McAfee Total Protection has your back. Hey there, it's Casey Daniels. With McAfee Total Protection, you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. Not a tech expert? No problem. McAfee makes it simple to protect yourself from even the sneakiest online scammers. You can shop, bank, and stream online with confidence. McAfee's got your devices, your privacy, and your identity covered. Right now, get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 for your first year. That's right, $39.99. So visit McAfee.com/online protection. Stay safe online, worry less. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. I've tried just about everything for my ED. Big name brands, awkward appointments, the whole deal. Nothing felt right for my lifestyle until I found Hardee's from Zelty. Pre-planning, waiting an hour, it took all the fun out of dating. But Hardee's changed everything. These dissolve fast, working in as little as 15 minutes, and last up to 36 hours. Plus, they cost up to 90% less than big name brands with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis to keep me going strong. No appointments, no hassle, and completely discreet. That's right, Zelty is 100% online with fast, free shipping. Plus, powerful results that cost around 90% less. For a single guy like me, Hardee's made dating fun again. Text TERM to 200-300 to see if you qualify for fast-acting, long-lasting ED medication. Get your free medical review now. Text the word TERM to 200-300. That's TERM to 200-300. Don't wait. Text now. Hardee's from Zelty. TERM to 200-300. TERM to 200-300.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This Christmas, come see Pierce Jewelers' stunning showcases of spectacular designs and be dazzled by their one-of-a-kind collection of fine jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
It's the Degenerates Next Door, a sports betting podcast for dudes.
Real dudes, not the fake Kardashian-looking like dudes you see on television doing this. The Degenerates Next Door. Download and subscribe today anywhere you get your podcast.
Well, the glow from the bars in 1,000 stars like the cold Ohio night. And the turnpike slip.
So he said something big could be happening with the Indiana Secretary of State. And, well, he might just be right based on a new article from the Indiana Capital Chronicle. 93 WIBC. It is the Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob Casey's here. You know him as the owner and operator of IndyPolitics.org, Abdul Hakim Shabazz. All right, Abdul. Speaking of IndyPolitics.org, several weeks ago, you had come out and you had said, hey, I am hearing that Diego Morales, Secretary of State for Indiana, is under investigation by the federal government on a litany of issues. It was like everything from potential money laundering to pay for play to dealing with the cartels, right?
Yep.
And I told you at the time, I said, here's the deal, buddy, and I love you, but if I were Diego Morales, and you probably know whether you're under investigation by the federal government, if some guy put his name to it like you with something to lose and I wasn't under investigation, I would sue you for everything that I was worth or everything you were worth. And I would smile as I took it all. And you said, bring it on, big boy.
Yep.
And now, a couple weeks went by, and everybody said, well, we haven't heard anything on this. And it looks like Abdul might have been wrong. And then the Indiana Capital Chronicle comes out with this big article, which everybody should read as soon as our show's over today. We talked about it already this week, about these no-bid contracts, these sizable no-bid contracts that were given out by Diego Morales' office, and in multiple cases, they involve people who had made donations to his campaign.
Yep. I believe the words I'm looking for is told you. And in a nutshell, yeah, what happened was the allegations were that Diego Morales issued these no-bid contracts to certain vendors for certain things in exchange for campaign contributions. And with this company that got the IT contract that our friends at Indiana Capital Chronicle wrote about, it was for IT services. It was like $1.7 million total over time.
Okay, so let me read.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just read this so that way people don't think we're making it up. And we want to always make sure we get it right. So this is, again, according to the Indiana Capital Chronicle. The first contract with Clean Slate for a range of IT services was signed on March 16th of 2023 and included $66,000 in compensation. The vendor's work started on March 21st that year and was originally set to expire December 31st. On November 11th of 2023, the agreement was extended to June 30th of 2024. The amended contract came with an extra $1,519,998. So put those two together, and you're at about $1.6.5 million.
Yeah, so $1.6.5 million for contractual services. In exchange, once Diego got maybe like 60 grand, I think is what the total almost was.
We did the math. We did our public school math, and there was, according to the Capital Chronicle, a $10,000, $19,000, and $30,000 donation from this company. Put them together, it's $59,000.
It doesn't look good. And once again, everything can be totally, completely above board here. But once again, it feeds into that narrative that I wrote about, that Diego Morales was giving out no-bid contracts in exchange for campaign contributions. Now, Diego people, they said in Capital Chronicle that they followed the law, and they did everything they're supposed to do, and they have the authority to issue no-bid contracts. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm saying that it doesn't look good, and it feeds into a narrative that I wrote about a month ago and told everybody, hey, this is out there, this is coming, how you like me now?
But wait, there's more. Within the same time frame, Clean Slate's contract was extended again on April 30th of 2024 for as-needed services. Additional payouts were capped at $759,999.99. That would bring the total compensation, if all was paid out, to $2,342,997. I mean, like you said, whether they technically follow the letter of the law or not, if you are a person who, look, when Diego got elected, a lot of people, us included, said, this guy seems kind of sketchy, right? I'll never forget him coming on this show and us asking him what he did for a job, and you couldn't get
a straight answer.
Like, you're on the number one rated radio station in the city of Indianapolis, a number one rated radio show, and you get opportunity to promote your business, right? Hey, I do this, and you can find us here, and please give us money, and we do this great, and if you need this, we do it. And he was hemming and hawing about this staffing company that he ran or owned, and it was like, this just doesn't seem right, the way the guy is being super sketchy about what he does for a living.
And the fun thing was, whenever I would talk to my friends in the hallway, hey, did you hear about Diego? Like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Literally, it was like, yeah.
So the point in all this is, if you enter, and then there's the thing with whether or not he voted in a county different from where he was taking his, homestead credit, and that was a huge. There's just a whole bunch of things.
At what point is it you?
Well, right. And you enter this office knowing that you have a spotlight shined on you. You know, a lot of people think you're sketchy to begin with. Wouldn't you drive under the speed limit and not even get out of the lane to use the turn signal? It seems like this guy is going 90 and a 75, and he knows people are looking at him.
Actually, he's going 112 in the carpool lane, and he's by himself.
I mean, now again, whether he broke the law or not is for somebody else to decide. But you're saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, when people are already prone to be looking at you.
And here's something else to think about too, because obviously, if indictments are returned, Diego Morales, knowing him and his personality, and we talked about this on State House Happenings, is not going to step down.
Yeah, I had what I would describe as a very big fish in the State House the other day say it's going to be a field day for the media because this guy will not quit.
And think about this. Usually most criminal investigations take about a year or so before any sort of indictments tend to fall down. So theoretically, we're looking at possibly if there are some indictments. Once again, Diego Morales is innocent until proven guilty. It's entitled due process. I'll say it until the day I die. But think about this. What's in 2026?
His re-election.
Yep. And so think about this. All of 2025 is Diego Morales, and then so in 2026, when Diego has to run again, Diego Morales, 2026, running, and that's going to be the race that Democrats are going to focus on.
Yeah.
Because if they actually got a shot at we talk about Mike Braun and Micah Beckwith and all that, but they never did anything criminal. I mean, you may not agree with their policies, but they didn't do anything criminal. If Diego Morales is indicted, imagine Diego Morales running for re-election as Secretary of State in 2026 with all this stuff out there.
It could happen. And again, like I said, it's not vindication for you in the sense of, look, he still hasn't been charged with anything, and who knows if he's actually being investigated. But the thing that the Capitol Chronicle runs this big expose about is directly related to the thing that you said, hey, they're taking a look at. So it does give credence to what you said about, look, that you're not making this up, right? I mean, that now whether they determine he did anything wrong or not, who knows? But it's kind of an odd coincidence that the thing you said they were looking into, and then there's a big story that comes out about just that.
I told people that cheat sheet has a bad habit of being right, has a bad habit of being right about things that suck, which is horrible.
Find him over at IndyPolitics.org. Abdullah Keeb Shabazz, thank you. It's Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC. It's going to do it for us today. Great job, Casey. Great job, Kevin. And most importantly, great job to you, the audience. Without you, there is no us. Stick around. Tony Gaetz. Coming up next, Kendall and Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
It's starting to be fall in Indiana, the perfect time to tackle home projects you've been putting off before winter arrives. With Moss Roofing by your side, you don't have to do it alone. They're ready to assist with your roofing and siding needs, ensuring your home is safe and ready for the holidays. Let Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, give your home a serious glow-up with premium James Hardy siding, tough enough to face Indiana's wild weather and stylish enough to turn heads on your block. And the best part, their free inspections come with a 3D design preview so you could see your home's stunning makeover before the work begins. Contact Moss Roofing for a job done right every shingle time at Moss Roofing, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com, or call 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. That's 747-3665. Or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. And don't forget, tell them Tony Katz sent you.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. This weekend only, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait, this is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Wilson, third generation owner of Wilson Farm Market, just 15 minutes north of 465 on 31. If you are looking for your source of homegrown, locally made, know where your food's coming from, we are your spot. We have hand-dipped ice cream, 130 different kinds of cheese. We fry chicken, just a little bit of everything, a foodie's heaven. Wilson Farm Market. where good taste runs in the family. Just 15 minutes north of 465, right on US 31.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
If you drink vodka and haven't tried Barkeep vodka yet, you're missing out. It's the cleanest vodka ever, smoothest vodka I've ever had, and a much better value than almost all the other top-shelf vodkas.
Switch to Barkeep because it's made in Indy and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. These guys are all about local, and they truly have made a better product. We've had it. It's awesome. Pick up a bottle at Indiana grocery stores, liquor stores, or visit barkeepvodka.com for a list of locations.
She's too special for just an average gift. See Pierce Jewelers for the breathtaking sparkle in their rare, one-of-a-kind, fancy colored diamond collection. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
Slow down. Just allow for extra time.
It's a very dangerous piece.
IMPD says they first heard about shots being fired in a car that was stolen.
Our goal is to help resolve the immediate crisis.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
It can happen in a matter of minutes. You have a cloudy sky and it's 36 degrees. Snow showing up on radar to the west of Indianapolis in Terre Haute. Your low tonight, 14 degrees with sub-zero wind chills. And this report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at noon. Snow and freezing temperatures are hitting just as you head home. Mike Ryan from the National Weather Service says snow squalls will rapidly cover roads, creating near whiteout conditions.
Slow down. Just allow for extra time. Allow for extra distance between the other vehicles. And be aware that as that's falling over such a heavy stretch, by lowering those speeds of travel, that will be ways that you can work your way through these snow showers.
And the snow showers will start showing up around 2 in the afternoon. And Ryan says cold temperatures will stay with us through Thursday with light rain and possibly more snow on Thursday. Drugs, guns, and arrests. That's what Indiana State Police say followed a crash Wednesday in Indianapolis from a stolen car chase. Sergeant John Perrine says the cops discovered a gun with a machine gun conversion device during the post-crash search.
It's a very dangerous piece that can be illegally manufactured to insert into a Glock handgun. It takes that Glock handgun from semi-automatic, one shot per trigger pull, to a fully automatic weapon.
And the chase ended in a crash near East 21st and Wesley Boulevard. Police found drugs and guns. A 15-year-old and another person in the car were both taken to the hospital and will face charges. Another police chase Tuesday afternoon ended in a crash and 4 people arrested and a SWAT officer injured on the north side of Indianapolis. Here's John Herrick.
IMPD says they first heard about shots being fired in a car that was stolen earlier in the day Tuesday, which led them to chasing the car, and that car eventually crashed into a pole at East 30th Street and Fall Creek Parkway North Drive. The car also hit a SWAT vehicle, which ended up on its side and gave the officer non-life-threatening injuries. 4 people in the car eventually got arrested, and a gun was also confiscated at the scene. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
City leaders say the mental health crisis in Indianapolis is getting worse, which is why they are expanding their response. Andrea Brown, Director of Operations at Stepping Stones Therapy Center, discussing how her organization plans to help.
With every call we've answered, Our goal is to help resolve the immediate crisis in a way that is respectful and safe.
The clinician-led community response program is making a difference, they say. Since January 1st, her team has responded to 925 calls and helped nearly 700 people. The man who police say tried to kill the president-elect is in court, and she's a bad sister, and she's probably going to prison. Those stories are next on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, inflation is going nowhere, and seemingly neither is the Democratic Party. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
And WIBC news time is 12:03. The NFL is headed to Berlin. The league announced today that it will play a regular season game in Germany's capital next year, marking the first time the city has hosted an NFL game. Munich and Frankfurt have hosted the game since 2022. The man accused of trying to kill President-elect Donald Trump at his Florida golf course is back in federal court today. Attorneys for Ryan Ruth argue that the February 10th trial date that's set is too rushed.
Especially since Ruth faces life in prison if found guilty on the attempted assassination charge. Ruth's legal team says the digital evidence includes terabytes of data, 3,000 photos, 18 phones, 5 phone company records, multiple computers and tablets. That's in addition to travel records and lab reports. Now, prosecutors say they aren't opposed to a delay, but pushing it to December is unreasonable. They claim a delay gives Ruth more time to influence the jury pool since he's been communicating regularly with the media.
That's Fox News reporter Dana Marie McNichol in Fort Pierce, Florida. Ruth has pleaded not guilty to 5 charges against him. Firefighters are still battling a dangerous wildfire in Southern California today that has destroyed homes and forced thousands of people to evacuate. The Franklin Fire, as it's being called, broke out in Malibu late Monday night and has burned nearly 4,000 acres. A woman in Monroe County is in jail for giving her brother meth that eventually killed